The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Less than 12 hours removed from the most electric football game of all time. Can't thank you enough for watching wherever the hell you are at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's a glorious Tuesday. We'll be talking to Aaron Rodgers in a couple hours. AJ Hawk will join us. The boys are here. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboy, Tone Diggs is here alongside Gump and all the boys in the back. We can't thank you enough for joining us every single day throughout this glorious NFL season. Who would have thought just, 10 weeks ago, that the New England Patriots would be a team that would be in the conversation of, holy shit, this team is all of a sudden hotter than everybody else. And who would have thought in the year 2021, with the way NFL offenses go and NFL rules are, that we would have taken it back to 1945 Navy Citadel in Bill Belichick's eyes in words. Last night was so ridiculous. You had to watch because it was a comedy of errors. Waking up in the morning as a punter and seeing those flags do what those flags were doing would be an absolute nightmare, and it's an anxiety that I no longer have to have, and I am very, very thankful for that. Now, Lucas Oil Stadium would have been closed for that one, so it would have been absolutely beautiful. And there is a conversation to be had about maybe we put a dome over every fucking stadium.
Can't do it.
Yeah, go to Chicago, put a dome. Go to Lambeau, put a dome.
No.
There's a conversation to be had. I'm not going to be a part of it. 70 and sunny every single day. Who's the best team? Let's find out. Let's not let Mother Nature figure it out. Maybe that is a part of the game, though. And maybe those types of matchups and outside adversities and those hurdles to get over is all a part of football. So although as a punter and kicker enthusiast, fan, and used to be one, having a dome would be much better for our jobs, I do believe you get a chance to showcase your big-ass brain whenever a situation like last night occurs. 30-mile-an-hour winds, 40-mile-an-hour winds, 25-mile-an-hour winds, gusting from one end zone straight down to the other. So punters had to punt directly into it. Kickers had to kick directly into it or completely with it. Tyler Big Ball Bass hit a kickoff 200 yards.
Yeah.
Then Jake Bailey, one of the biggest legs in football, wearing Fur the brand cleats. I appreciate you for doing that, Jake. Very, very nice of you for your cleats, your cause to do that. He hit 20 yards. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how he did that, by the way. I have no idea how he was able to even do that. Before, as I would have been jogging out onto that field to punt those first couple for the Patriots, I would have been like, oh, my career's over.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I am hitting a ball out of bounds right now. It's going to go 5 yards. They're going to score a touchdown. Guess whose fault it's going to be? Oh, it's the punter's fault. And everybody will say, yeah, we get it. There's 30-mile-an-hour winds, but fucking do your job.
That's right.
So there's that entire thing. Jake Bailey comes back, hits a 71-yarder the other direction. It was just a night that we had no idea what to expect, other than Bill Belichick was probably going to end up winning that type of game. That feels like a situation where Bill Belichick was even telling everybody before the game what type of game this is going to be. Hey, we're running fucking power eye. Mm-hmm. We are running the ball. We're running the triple option. We are taking this thing old school. Mac Jones throws the ball 3 times in the entire game. Everybody's up in arms because now Mac Jones doesn't deserve credit for the win. Sure. Mac Jones isn't as good as everybody says he is. Whenever we're talking about offensive rookie of the year, Mac Jones better not be in the conversation because they won against the Buffalo Bills, one of the best teams in the AFC, without even using the motherfuckers, what everybody will say.
Hell yeah.
And I think that is absolute bullshit because that is a game that shouldn't count for either team. None of the stats should matter. That was a game that you had to throw out and you had to show up and win however the fuck you can win. And if you can beat somebody just running the ball right down their goddamn throats, which is what has been happening, by the way, to the Buffalo Bills 2 out of the last 3 weeks or whatever. If you think about Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns just a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. If you can beat him doing that and you don't have to have the risk of 30 miles, why in the fuck would Mac Jones, Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick, anybody on that offense do anything differently? They got to win. That is the only thing that matters. Now, Mac Jones' yards and stats are going to be, suffer because of this.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of us who got him at like plus 1,400 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year aren't necessarily thrilled that he's going to miss out on a game where he could have made leaps and bounds in a statistical category that he would need to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. But in other words, who cares? He did exactly what he had to do. He did everything that everybody in New England does. He did his job. He handed it off. They won a game that they're going to have to, Buffalo's going to have to figure out how to stop that, especially going forward. With the AFC, now that we know New England's able to do it, we thought for a little bit Baltimore was able to do it. We know now that the Indianapolis Colts are able to do it, so Buffalo's going to have to figure that out. That's going to have to be on them. Now, I don't necessarily think that reporters should be talking to Poyer and Micah Hyde like, hey, yins are soft. Why? I don't know if that is how everything should go, but they're going to have to figure out everything going on in Buffalo. To tell us a little bit more about how they feel, obviously noted Patriots superfan, Mac Jones fan.
Oh, yeah.
Only 3 passes last night. They still won. Couldn't you do his job? Whoa. That's what everybody is saying. And I don't understand how you can just say, okay, there is a Bildo tornado going on. All right. It is. This game is just completely different than everybody else. Although Josh Allen threw 30 times, it wasn't with much success. I think there's unwanted hate coming at Mac Jones, and that's strictly because he is a Patriot.
Yeah, exactly. People are always going to hate the Patriots. I mean, I do feel bad. I don't feel bad at all, but I do feel bad that people thought they were dead forever just a year ago, and now here we are, they're already the 1 seed again in the AFC. Kind of a bummer for everybody. It sucks. That's what happens when you have Bill Belichick, and that's what the rebuild is. I mean, the O-line played unbelievable. Really, the defense is the story, I feel like, for the Patriots. They truly only scored 3 points if N'Keal Harry doesn't let a punt go off his face.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Matt Hawk, by the way. Matt Hawk just played that bounce right off his face.
Yeah, very interesting. Let's put a guy back there in the windiest game of the year who's never returned a punt in the NFL. I mean, what are you going to do? It doesn't matter. We won. Who gives a shit?
So quick thing. There's no way any of the Hawks punts were going to look like NFL punts. They're probably going to be a lot lower, even with the wind at his back that kind of beats the ball down a little bit whenever the wind's at your back. So maybe the biggest difference in Bill Belichick's eyes and also my eyes between college punters, NFL punters, and returners is the ball's coming down from a lot higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so these balls are coming down from a lot higher, which potentially gets some people a little fucked up. Maybe Bill was thinking, it's going to be more line drive punts anyways. N'Keal Harry will be able to handle that because he was able to handle it in college. Not 100% sure. I asked the same fucking question you did whenever he was back. I'm like, N'Keal Harry? I didn't know he was a returner. And I started thinking about it. Maybe it was just because of that, but that'd be a deep excuse for Bill Belichick. That would be a deep excuse.
Well, and Gardner Minshew an All-Pro, Pro Bowl returner. It's not like he's a slouch. Like last year, he was All-Pro.
And he's probably the safe guy, too. Like they would anytime they put Amendola back, I was like pumped because Amendola at the beginning of his career, nightmare returner. Okay, he would bring kickoffs out from like 9 deep, 8 deep. He'd come full speed. It was like, this son of a bitch, just take a knee. And then on punting, he would do it. Then towards the end of his career, anytime he was in, it was like, hey, this is a safe situation. They are just trying to get the ball back, which was beautiful. I would assume Gunnar, who's already a Pro Bowler, is that same type of thing. I do wonder why he put in it, because that was really the biggest yardage gain.
Oh, yeah.
For the whole night for both teams, other than Damian Harris popping that thing open for 80. But that was a massive gain. That is an interesting decision there.
Yeah, it didn't really make much sense. I mean, who cares? Because we ended up winning. Yeah, it's Bill Belichick. You just kind of, whatever he wants to do is what we're going to do, and I love it no matter what. If I disagree with it, who cares? If I do agree with it, obviously even better. But no, it was unbelievable. I mean, I think about the 4th and 14 to this point about Bill making play calls. If he blitzes everybody, 0 blitz, and they get that first down or touchdown, I'm sure the conversation today is more about his, decision to do that instead of
Josh missed Cole Beasley, though.
Throwing into the wind.
He's throwing into 30-mile-an-hour winds. And he missed the guy. It was like, no shit. What are we even? Are we not? Go outside when it's 30-mile-an-hour wind, okay? And then just face directly in it. If you can't figure out which way it's going, you probably should be able to feel it, but just go ahead and lift something, throw it up, and when that shit disappears, just go and stare right into the direction in which the wind was coming, and then just try to open your mouth and then try to just do something. So people acting like that wasn't reality last night just because it's NFL football is insane to me. People always say, punters figure it out. Because in punting, and I talked about this last night in the video, and I know not everybody wants to talk about punting, but this is just literally from my point of view. when you're punting, the ball has free fall, right? So you're holding it, and then you try to get it as like in a proper. That's a golf ball. That thing's going to get juggled today at some point. But whenever you're dropping it, you're trying to put it in a position where it is most consistent as normal. For me, flat and straight. So I was trying to drop it as flat as possible and as straight as possible, and then I would hope that my soft touch of leaving the ball would be able to have it float down in the same position, and I'd be able to smack, hopefully quickly. This is all happening within a little bit of a free fall time. Whenever you have 30-mile-an-hour gusts, that thing can move while it's dropping to your foot. So unless you're literally kicking the ball straight out of your hand, there is a moment of free fall there. So the wind is going to affect that. I mean, that is a nightmare. So everybody talks about the wind up top, the wind up top. Yeah, the wind up top is a problem. In the wind, everything is there. But it's on the field that is the biggest deal for punters, because that is basically taking the golf ball off of the golf tee. If you see how low Jake Bailey dropped this ball, that is because he was trying to get as little amount of time from his hand to his foot there. So this is a low ball. That ball is normally going to be up there about the knee high, maybe lower thigh on where you're hitting that, depending upon what type of kick. And there's all types of variables. That's a low. He's hitting that ball very low there. So whenever everybody be like, oh, just do your job, and I would explain it to them, they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, well, I guess so, but everybody's able to deal with it. So if you were to go to a urinal and piss, and I would come with a leaf blower, okay, that's basically what is happening if the wind is coming from left and right. And just get your piss to the goddamn, get it to the urinal.
Yeah.
Okay, so just blowing from the side. So just think of that. Or if you're on your desk and you're working with paper, just imagine like somebody coming and just blowing it out of the way while you're still writing it, but it's still being held down. So it's just like, it just makes everything incredibly more difficult. And I think that is why every place should have a fucking dome.
Oh, yeah.
Every place should have a dome. Give every place a dome. No, that was a conversation on Twitter last night, by the way, because there is times like games like last night where it is nothing reminiscent of either of the teams, basically.
Yeah.
I guess the Patriots could look like it, but the Patriots have 7,000 identities. They have more accents than Brian Kelly. Okay, The New England Patriots are a different football team every single week, but the Bills seem to be a team that might not be their best in their own location. Yeah. I don't know how it's happening for them. I'm like kind of bummed for Bills Mafia. Today obviously you're in their division, but
of course,
that Bills team is the team that I think a lot of us are big fans of.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people picked them to go to the Super Bowl before the year started.
I'm a big fucking fan of the Buffalo Bills. I like their story. I like their team. I like their fan base. I like everything about the culture that is the Buffalo Bills, just losing their mind. And I think Josh Allen and that team seem to be perfect for the Buffalo Bills. But for whatever reason, the style of play that they are losing to is a style of play that they're going to have to be able to beat if they really want to make any actual run at this thing. Now, they were able to beat the Colts last year. The Colts are much different than they are this year. Jonathan Taylor's the guy as opposed to Phillip Rivers being the guy last year in the playoffs. So they did get a playoff win. I understand that. But it just feels like this Buffalo Bills team, for whatever reason, just can't handle like ground and pound football. And if that is something they're going to run into late, I feel bad for Bills fans because this was supposed to be a goddamn year. Yeah. And I was excited to see Bills Mafia go.
Yeah, not being able to run the ball or stop the run when you're the Buffalo Bills playing in Buffalo is a wild decision for that team.
Josh Allen may be the best runner up there.
Well, yeah. Why didn't they
do that more?
Yeah, why didn't they run him more?
He didn't hit his over, by the way. 39, he was at 40.
Yeah, he had one massive.
A lot of heartbreak from a lot of people for that.
No one hit their overs.
Well, and Josh Burrito was he fumbled almost right out of the gate. Like, he wasn't there. He hasn't been there. I mean, I think he's been in Buffalo for like 2 weeks now. Like, they're just picking up guys, and and I know Peyton said on the ManningCast, like, at one point, it was, like a 4th and 5 or something, or 3rd and 5 for Buffalo. And he was like, they want to go to the sticks, but this is the point where like Josh has got to go deep. And I think with like last night, like there was no way he wasn't going to be able to complete any of those passes. Even Dawson Knox, like you could see, I mean, he had 3-4 drops. You could see how much the ball was moving and like how tough it was for those guys. And obviously, that played right into the Patriots' hands, and Buffalo would have wanted to throw it 50 times.
In this office, as the weather was continuing on, I guess Bill Belichick and them knew, and I assume the Bills knew the night before it was going to be like that, because Bill Belichick actually joked amongst friends the night before the game. He said, we actually joked about how, we can use all of our passing game the next time we play, December 26th. We're not even going to have to use it. That's what they laughed about. Yeah. Mike Rice reports that the question via Greg Hill, shout out to Greg Hill Show with a great question. Due to the weather, will you be able to take anything from the game into December 26th against the Bills? Bill Belichick laughs. We were talking about that last night. We can use our whole passing game at all the pass plays we have. They haven't even seen them. Look at that.
Genius.
Huh? Genius. Did he say that after the game?
So the great go, I think it was this morning, yeah.
I wonder how long in advance they knew what this game was going to be. Did they know Saturday night what was going to happen? We all found out kind of middle of the day or yesterday. Did they know Sunday? We found out kind of middle of the day yesterday. And in this office, we all thought, oh, this plays into the Patriots' hands.
Oh, yeah.
We thought, oh, this is good for the Patriots. This is not good for the Bills. And the line moved the other way. The line moved towards the Bills, like it helping out the Bills a little bit. And I was like, what are we seeing that everybody else isn't? Because I thought it was immediately going to go the other way. Like I thought New England was going to get more, points or whatever whenever the weather continued to get worse, because I think we just have so much faith in Bill Belichick in the run game as opposed to what the Bills were able to do. I wonder why it did that. Do we know?
Sunday, I know it was reported that the winds were going to be really bad. I don't know if they knew that the gusts were going to be up to 50, but is the thought with Josh Allen, because it was so windy and he is one of the strongest arms in the NFL, that they could probably pass the ball more?
Oh, because Mac Jones got a little noodle arm.
Sure. I mean, he definitely doesn't have a Josh Allen
Isn't that
arm.
what people are
No way.
Wouldn't that be Mac Jones is being attacked.
Oh, yeah, big time.
It's
a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie, and we're the 1 seed in the AFC. And to your point about him being rookie of the year from earlier, if we win 12 games and have home field advantage, and he's the quarterback of that team, I feel like you can't not give it to him.
Yeah, I agree completely. Let's talk about the ManningCast a little bit. Enjoyed less guests. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Aqib Talib, I love him.
He was awesome.
He was good, by the way. Had a relationship with Peyton. You could tell he had a relationship with Peyton. He knew when, how, why to talk. I loved Aqib Talib. I also thought Joe Buck came in there and crushed.
Oh, man.
He was on fire. He alluded to a future divorce, which is awesome. He was in Cabo. He kind of, buried Peyton a little bit. There was good conversation. Called some plays there on Monday Night Football. Called whoever the hell that is, he said. I mean, it was good. Now, I do know that there is an actual narrative, I guess, amongst the public, that Joe Buck does not like Eli Manning.
Oh.
And Joe Buck alluded to it a lot last night. He was like, Eli's down here. I don't think Eli said a single thing when Joe Buck was on.
He didn't. It was pretty much just Joe and Peyton.
I wonder if Joe knew. I wonder if Joe knew going in there. He had to have known, right? Did somebody tell him day of, like, hey, by the way, there's a narrative that you hate Eli Manning, so let's assume Eli hates you. Or do you think, I don't know. That was fascinating to watch, because when Joe alluded to it a couple times, I'm like, oh, this is a real thing. Because Joe is trying to get it out there like, hey, let's go ahead and handle this. I did not know. But I love Joe Buck on there, buddy.
Yeah.
But I don't think Eli said a single thing the entire time.
The only thing he said, and this would make more sense, it was after Joe said something about, the only time he's wanted to interview someone was when Peyton was in the Super Bowl. Eli was like, "Yep, you just went up a couple notches in my book." He said something like that, which I didn't think about it last night, but I guess if he's on his shit list, that would make a little bit more sense.
I wonder. I don't know. I just felt like that was something that Joe was alluding to, which is comedic, because I did not know, because Joe does call a lot of the NFC games.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he called the Super Bowl where David Tyree made the catch against the undefeated Patriots, and apparently he didn't have enough
excitement.
Because he didn't know if he didn't know if it was actually a catch or not, and then they ran that clip and everything.
Joe Buck on a ManningCast. Here we go. That was a good time. Aqib Talib was great, and David Letterman can fuck off.
Yeah, that guy stinks.
Man, Letterman's an Indiana guy. Former weatherman, fucking turned great.
Yeah.
Comedian. He was a great guest, on Carson. And then whenever the handoff was to be made, he already had a show on the channel. They thought he was going to get it. No, they give it to Leno. Oh, shit. Letterman then gets his own show over there. He kind of, is a trailblazer, revolutionary guy on late night television, incredible interviews, very relatable, very hilarious. Big fan of David Letterman and his work and his trailblazing. He owns a show, too, I think. It's something pants.
Yeah, sure.
I don't remember what the pants are, but it's some sort of pants that he's wearing.
My Next Guest on Netflix, too.
Great conversations. Not as good as his original ones early whenever he was Letterman, but, still good conversations. And he wants to ban punts. So fuck off, Letterman. Yeah. What's that all about?
What's all these guys?
What's that all about?
He's a Colts fan, too. It seems like that's a direct shot at me. He had to see me for at least a few years in there. And every time he saw me, he hated me. Fuck off, Letterman.
It makes no sense. Wants to do field goals only from the 50-yard line. Raise the posts. Are you shitting me?
Hey, fuck off. They eat enough crow and shit, Letterman. The kickers, okay?
Makes no sense.
Still a good guy at his business and everything.
Sure.
But come on, go to hell.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's
Come
a
on.
tired take.
That's a hack joke. It's a hack joke. You and Larry David both.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Could you pay attention to the game on the ManningCast last night?
So when Letterman was on, no, because I was, fascinated. Oh, they went to a break in the middle of him talking. Okay, somebody should have maybe told him. Also, maybe he should have had a little self-awareness. Who knows? I don't know who it's on, who it's not on. And then he said he hated punters. I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. And he wanted to ban punting, and I just started watching the game back. There was a couple distracting moments, but the game was, right, if you're watching the actual feed, it had to be rather distracting to begin with, right? I mean, it's the same play over and over.
I was going to say they ran it 49 times, so it was kind of
But
like...
it was awesome.
Yeah, well, definitely, but it wasn't... Like, it was easier to follow because you didn't really have to, like, read between the lines. Or, I mean, it's just like, okay, you look up, and, they're 12 yards further than they were, when I looked down.
Now, there was 3 or 4 different moments where I wish I knew what the person's name was. Because it's not mentioned, and I'm like waiting for somebody to turn their back so I can see their back. Like, who was that actually that did that? So I think you miss out on that as well. But maybe they can add some. There's a way they can add that. They had a brand new open for this thing.
Oh, yeah.
They had a brand new open.
Good.
It's like Man in the Arena's open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we
Kinda
go.
was like Man in the
They're going
Arena's
big.
opening.
Man in the Arena tonight. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. Randy Moss. I'm sure he's got some.
Randy Moss is on there?
Randy Moss and Strahan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they'll go into the undefeated season. Strahan. I don't give a shit. I hate the guy. He fucking ruined the perfect season.
Hey, he's good on Fox, though.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, Strahan's good.
I thought he was in space.
He's
No,
going
he's
to...
going.
He
He
is.
Hey, by the way, space station okay? Remember, somebody told me a
yeah.
chip of paint fractured a windshield. When was that, 2 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, from all the space junk.
Yeah, space junk's floating around. I guess something as small as a little chip of paint can fracture everything.
Yeah, could destroy the entire International Space Station.
Do we not have like a dome on that thing out there? Or are we just kind of
Floating freely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hanging around.
That's
And
crazy.
I think they said Putin was shooting lasers up at
Yeah,
old
they were.
satellites.
Putin shooting lasers up there?
Yeah. Now we just got space junk floating around.
Bro, think about him just...
Fuck it.
Destroy that.
He's shooting lasers from Earth into space?
I believe so. I believe that was a report.
Oh, my God. So those things are getting shattered, and then all of a sudden...
Then they're just flying.
good
around,
luck.
Just picking up speed with each pass.
Life is great.
Yeah, well,
Well, speaking of, there's some... No,
that's great news. Break it.
No. We got to get to a break.
No.
I was almost McCocknered in the real life.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's get to a break. We got to do more research. Got to do a lot more research.
It was a blue check mark.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Nothing.
I'm a blue check mark. What the
Well, yeah, you should be careful what you say.
Well, you're saying that there comes
Responsibility.
with certain levels of life and
Great
social
power
media.
comes great responsibility.
There it is. See? There it is. With great blue check mark power comes great responsibility, because nobody with blue check marks has ever just lied.
No.
Blatantly. On the record.
No.
They don't
And then
hand
just
them out.
moved on.
I take it as gospel.
We'll be back in 4 minutes. Maybe we'll break some news from Blue Check Mark. It would be quite a tie together for our show in the way we have kind of operated. We'll get to that and some phone calls on this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. 1-833-4-McAfee. Also, Walter Payton Man of the Year finalists have been announced. Heisman finalists have been announced. There is a lot to celebrate on this beautiful December 7th. We'll see you in 4 minutes. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings. And for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning. First hour. We talk sports and rock. Yeah. With AJ Hawk. Yeah. This is not a mock. Yeah. Of a song that's rock. Yeah. Sports talk. Sports talk and rock with AJ Hawk. Yeah. The rock. Yeah. And AJ Sports and talking on the rock. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Go on home with AJ Hawk. It's rock. Yeah. Sports. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. A lot of awards and finalists being laid out.
That season.
Yeah, it is. It is award season, isn't it? Mm-hmm. For the old football. Mm-hmm. We might be handing out awards here at the end of the season as well.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah, I think so. You know, with that NIL thing, I was trying to figure out the proper way to go about doing it. We might have an award thing happen after the season has concluded. Will be different than most awards, but it's not about that. The NIL thing is still interesting and fascinating. You know, Quinn Ewers, I mean, what happened? It's
crazy. Yeah. See ya.
He got $75,000 or something like that from a deal or something like that, but he's supposed to have $1 million. He leaves. He goes, I think as it's continuing to evolve and get figured out, we will continue to dabble and sniff around. But I feel like awards is the best way. And with awards, you know, just a bunch of swag.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Nice.
Yeah. You know, so it's like we're Santa Claus coming in. It's just like, hey, congrats.
It's a good idea.
Good season. We're out of here. All right, yeah. We have, by the way, if you want to post about it, cool. If not, do not care. This is me just saying thanks for what you're doing, which I think is what the Heisman Award is supposed to be every single year in the college football game. Hey, thanks for what you're doing. You're being recognized because amongst all the other student human athletes that were playing D1 football this particular season, you exemplified something that was so special on the field and off the field that we would like to commemorate you with a chance to be in the Nissan house.
That's right.
You get a chance to be in the Nissan Heisman house. You get a chance to win a trophy that is currently on the floor in Matt Leinert's closet.
Yeah.
You get a chance to be a trophy that says, hey, you were the fucking guy. And I mocked it a little bit there early, but it's a real thing. When you get on the Heisman list and you win a Heisman, that's for forever. Okay, this is Heisman winner. Boom, everybody immediately goes, wow, who will be the next person that will be able to say that they won a Heisman? The 4 finalists have been announced. Bryce Young, Alabama quarterback. Everybody said if he gets a big win over Georgia, this will be his Heisman winning performance. He did just that. He's on the list. Michigan defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who is a Watt brother with a different last name.
Yes.
He's unbelievable.
So very good.
High motor. Also, dude on the other side, very good on his defensive line. 55?
Yeah, 55.
I think so. On the other side, unbelievable. And I think that helps. But Aiden Hutchinson, obviously a Sunday player. Ohio State quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Hey, way to go, C.J.
Hey, nice job, C.J.
Kind of tied the whole thing together. Started out a little rough, then got incredibly hot. Lose game to Michigan. You're all in Oregon. That's all she wrote. Get the hell out of town. They'll be back next year, even better. Ryan Day's ready to go for Ohio State. OH! I don't think he's going to win, but congratulations to him. And the last one, who needs to be talked about, the Pitt quarterback, Kenny fucking Pickett.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats to Kenny Pickett. He still has to run over to the sideline to get the play call from the offense coordinator and run back into the huddle and then call the play and then do his thing. Been a quarterback for the last few years. Got a chance to call a couple games in which he was playing. He's a cool dude. I'm a big fan of this guy. And what he has done with the Pittsburgh football program alongside Narduzzi and that guy that gave $25 million to be the name of the head coach.
Shout out Chris Bickle.
Chris Bickle. They fucking turned that thing around. Congrats, Kenny Pickett. There ain't no way anybody thought anybody from the University of Pittsburgh was going to be a Heisman finalist for the last fucking, 15, 20 years? I mean, maybe LaShawn McCoy.
Fitz.
Oh, yeah.
He was a.
Yeah, but how many years ago is that?
2003?
2 or 3, I think.
So it's about 20 years ago.
Yeah, so it's been a very, very long time. Congrats to Kenny Pickett. Congrats to Bryce Young on probably winning. Congrats to Aiden Hutchinson being a finalist, which is still incredibly cool. And C.J. Stroud, you're going to come back better than ever and probably win one of these at some point. Congrats to the Heisman finalists.
Good work.
Are they going to have a ceremony this year?
I assume so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are award shows are they doing award shows?
Think?
People's
so.
Choice. I saw The Rock won some. I think.
Did he?
I think he's People's Choice, like just human. I think he won the People's Choice favorite people of all the people.
Favorite person on earth.
Yes.
Was
That
he
makes
there?
sense.
The Rock. I think he's won it every year for the last 10
He
years.
should.
Yeah, and he usually doesn't go because he's busy, so he'll FaceTime in and do. Like
Oh, yeah, because he's on In the Iron Paradise.
Boom.
Yep.
Or he's drinking his Zoa.
What?
Or his Terramana.
What?
Or his French toast.
What?
Or he's doing a movie.
What?
Jumanji.
What?
Jungle Cruise.
What?
Maybe beating up Vin Diesel.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa. What are you talking
Listen, I
about?
don't know.
I mean, he did just have the most watched movie again on Netflix.
Yeah, 255 billion people watch.
They're not lying about that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you just said 255 billion, I believe.
Well,
Multiple viewings.
it was something whenever we were talking about Red Notice,
Yeah.
at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
It was Survivor Series.
Yeah,
A
Ryan
lot
Reynolds
of shows
almost
since
walked
then.
out.
Well, yeah, and the egg was there, and we were talking about it. That morning, I woke up and I saw an Instagram post from The Rock, and he said 195 million people have already watched Red Notice. I'm like, well, so what are we talking about tonight? Everybody's seen it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but based on
Everybody's already seen it.
based on what you and Ty said, I believe 100% of those people fell asleep during the
No,
movie.
I finished it. It was good.
It was
I
good.
enjoyed it.
I did too.
I enjoyed it.
Multiple
Okay.
nights I stayed awake all night, watched it in succession, watched it one after again, just repeat, loop all night long.
Really?
Didn't even sleep.
Oh,
It's so good.
So that's why it had 195 million. So
Maybe
really
he's got a
10
passionate
million.
following. I'm one of them. Whatever
Yeah,
the case is. Are award shows back? Like, will there be a Heisman whole thing?
I believe so, yeah.
So.
There will be, yeah.
I think so.
Okay, awesome. So they'll have that college football year-end award show too, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Song and dance.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's good news, right? We're coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from reports that we've seen
Are we
this
back?
morning, yeah.
I mean,
What's going on with Omicron?
well, and
I saw a
like you
report-
said, you'll find this upcoming Friday. You'll find out if we're back or not.
Yeah,
So
because we're gonna be in Los
Well,
Angeles.
no, that fucking place isn't gonna care.
What place?
California.
What are you talking about? What?
Listen, they're gonna
What?
have their rules for 40 years to come. No,
Oh, come on!
this thing is
Tell me
dead.
that's a hack joke.
Oh,
That is
come
low
on.
level.
No, that's
Look at
facts.
you, cowboy.
That's facts.
They kicked San Francisco
Why don't you
out of
come
their
down to
stadium.
Texas?
They did kick the Niners out of their stadium.
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me, you cannot play football here.
Get
Fuck
out.
out of here.
Tampa had a
What's going on with Omicron, though? I'm hearing mixed reports.
Super Bowl should be in Texas.
Jerry, we're
That is from Tone Diggs, who does have a cowboy hat on, but is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's go to the Let's go to the phone, shall we, to hear what people are. What is going on with Omicron?
Word on the street is
It's weak.
No, that's some streets. Now, which streets are we allowed to take a test drive down whenever we're saying information in the microphones?
Yeah, just if we're just putting it in words, it's not Omicron. It's more like Omicron, and it's not as ripped
it's not.
as.
It's
So,
not.
so you're saying it's
Holy shit.
Omicron. That's what it is.
Yeah, not Omicron like we thought it was.
Omicron's a big letdown?
Delta's still the top dog around here.
Oh, Delta baited Omicron?
Holy shit!
Wow.
I didn't know Delta still had it.
We'll look into this. We'll see if it's right. Once again, what we were saying, none of us are doctors.
No.
None of us are.
No.
But which doctors now? That's the entire.
And there's the problem.
There lies the problem.
You know?
What's going on, Gump?
Nothing?
Oh, he had that microphone up and he had a little bit of a grin. I saw the beard. The beard was pinching up just a little bit higher on Gump's face that day.
The doctors that I know of,
Oh, okay.
if the variants are getting weaker, that is a good sign. That's all I know.
Yep.
Well, okay. Gump
I
came
saw
from
the
a
same
shipyard.
thing.
The doctors are working on that. All right. So
I'm more sports medicine myself.
let's go to the phones. Allegedly, some positive news coming out.
Yeah. And we're not talking about those positives.
No, we're actually talking about the opposite.
Yeah.
But I thought
Sup, bro?
What?
I thought Bill Gates engineered Omicron in his basement.
No.
Nah.
Come on, dude.
That was comedy. That was satire. That was not real. Please don't take us down YouTube. Jesus.
He's a YouTube guy?
Who?
Bill.
He's everything. Guy.
kinda-
We don't know if that's real either. We don't know if that's real either. We are moving on.
Create the internet.
I think he is everywhere, though.
Oh, yeah. Like a
What's going on over there? What'd you say? I'm going to save the world over here.
Can we revisit this in After Hours, man?
No, see, that's still on
That's
YouTube.
on YouTube.
All right, let's go to Evan in Buffalo. Are Yin's dead over there? Is this Overreaction Tuesday? Evan in Buffalo on the 5-hour energy phone line?
It is Overreaction Tuesday, Pat, because Brian Dable needs to get marched out of town on a fucking crucifix,
Whoa.
never to return.
Yikes.
And then Pulling Cars needs to suck it up and build a dome for the fucking Bills.
There we go. Evan, thank you, Evan.
Oh, they are so soft. Are you kidding me, Buffalo?
Might as well
Are
move
you
to Toronto.
kidding me?
No, there's no problem. Put
Oh,
the dome
my
up. That's not
God.
an issue. That's not soft at all.
Might as well
With
move
the
to
way-
Toronto.
No,
Yeah.
there's no Canadian Bills going on here. This is the Buffalo fucking Bills. And I understand that, you go over the Rainbow Bridge right there. There's actually, Canada 30, 45 minutes away, and it's one of the wonders of the world. It's a beautiful place. There's actually Big Frankenstein right on top of Burger King. You're gonna love it. And then there's Boston Pizza down there. I mean, it is. There's an old casino, new casino, and a wild mushroom who might be dead. Rest in peace. Moment of silence for that local establishment that has a picture of me drinking in it as a 16-year-old and as a 20-year-old. Wait, how are you here on your 20th birthday? We have a picture of you from 4 years ago. Yeah, about that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, still up there. I don't know if the place is still around. Shout out to Wild Mushroom, moment of silence. With that being said, don't send them to Canada. They deserve a team up there. And the way they have been created with the weapons and the quarterback and the offense and the defense that flies around, they would be much better suited at 70 and sunny every single day. That is possible in the modern world of 2021. Why not let Bills Mafia go ahead and jump through the tables outside, go through it all, get the dildos and the trash cans on the way in, and then they're on vacation 70 and sunny.
Yeah, they want 70 and sunny. You know what they can do? They can move that goddamn team down to Austin, Texas, like it was reported earlier in the year.
Antonio.
Buffalo is supposed to be this gritty winter city. Brian Dable is the best offensive coordinator in the last 50 years just a year ago, and all of a sudden they're running him out of town. What a fickle bunch you are, Buffalo.
No.
You guys suck.
No, whoa.
Yeah.
Evan didn't deserve that. He's already having a bad day.
Good.
Did you hear that guy?
I want to make it the worst day of his life.
No, why? They've already had enough. You guys have won for the last 20 fucking years.
Oh, man.
Hey, and then Norwood, who's still getting shout-outs from Bill Burr. I mean,
Right.
they've had a long time. No need for what you just said there.
I don't care.
We can be civil about
I
it.
hope we drag them through the mud for the rest of eternity, and that Buffalo never wants to have a football team ever again, Pat.
Well, it's interesting you say that because after last night's booing of a hurt player from
That's
the
right.
Buffalo
That's
Bills fan
interesting.
base, Bills Mafia too.
Scumbags. Interesting.
No.
All fan bases are scumbags.
We hope.
Don't disagree.
Yes.
You kind of hope. I don't think all fan bases are.
They
though.
should be.
But
Well, and we're kind of a bad bunch to kind of say this, but I enjoy, these are just personal opinions here.
sure.
That's right.
And nobody in here would ever claim to have experienced it at a level that I have, and I have not experienced it at anywhere near the level that others have. But I love walking into a hostile environment.
Oh, yeah.
That's what like sports are about. In high school, we were reminiscing last week with my volleyball coach. Okay, I played volleyball in my senior year. We were reminiscing about a couple altercations with the crowd where something big went down between me and the crowd with chants and everything. And I have embraced the heel as a high school athlete because I loved it. Like I enjoyed going to places where the fans were literally dressed up as me. And there was student sections directly with their venom at me. Like I love that type of shit. And in college when we would go into a place and it was fucking wild. Now I'm just doing a very small job on the team. But I saw a lot of my teammates who were the same way. They're like, hey, the fuck yous to away crowds are awesome. Like I enjoy that so much. And there's a lot of people out there that think like, you should win with class and there should be this whole thing. I get it. And I appreciate the people that are like that. I'm not like that though. Like I would like to compete. I need to, there needs to be a little verbal jousting. I enjoy that. I'm not going to set out to do it, but if there is a little bit, like I think it heightens everything. It heightens the environment. It heightens, the intensity. And I think it raises the level of play. So I enjoy like when fans are scumbag. Like going to Baltimore, whenever we would go to Baltimore, that place was awesome. They had some people that were very low because those are the expensive seats. They had people that were low that still had some savage in them. So shout out to them, whatever they did to accomplish that. I enjoy that type of shit. Not everybody else does. The booing during the actual injury, in which I think he was just trying to slow down the game maybe. I don't know what they thought or whatever. People would say too far. But depending upon who you ask, where's the line? That's kind of where is the line depending upon how you, I can see how people would say you can't boo a hurt player, but then I can also see how people are like, well, we're drunk, it's 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it's negative 10 degrees Celsius out here. Yeah. What do you, well, it's not like we're having the time of our life. Like this is, and we're trying to beat the Patriots right now.
In a game like that last night, if you're a spectator at that game, all bets are off. Outside of killing someone, you can do whatever the fuck you want at that.
And by the way, Players should be able to do the same thing back.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is like if you go in there, if you're paying for that, like if you're giving it to someone, I feel like most people, their desired outcome is that they are going to get it back, but there are a lot of people who, aren't expecting a player to ever say anything. So like, if you're getting motherfucked, you should be able to turn around and be like, oh, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, but you can't do that anymore with how many cameras are on there. But there are little side interactions. For instance, I went to I forget when it was SmackDown a couple weeks ago. Somebody did not like me. Because I come out before the show or whatever, and I get an intro. It's pretty cool. I come out the White Stripes 7-Day show. Shout out to Baltimore, by the way. Yeah. And I know other places do it, but when I heard it in Baltimore, I actually was standing on the sideline, and I was like, I think this would be my wrestling intro. If I had it, I think this would be it because of Baltimore's M&T Field or whatever it was. It's pretty cool. Some places I get a pretty cool little, there's a pretty cool little pop there. It's an interesting thing because I'm just getting to the table. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to get to the table. So I can't there has to be a little self-awareness, but also like, hey, there should be some juice, I think, brought in here. So I never know how to do it. So normally everybody's like out reaching for their hands. I'm reaching for a guy's hands. I hear somebody behind me say, you suck ass. And I was like, oh, here we go. Okay, this is wrestling, right? So I turn around and it's this guy. I mean, very punchable dude. And he was of age where he was an adult. Okay, so this guy, I mean, he and I had a full smile while I'm slapping people's hands around him, talking shit right to his face. To this guy's credit, he did not back down either. You were just a punter. I'd be your fucking stepdad if your mother ever met me, bud. And then, the crew around him, there's like a full thing. And then he says something else, and I said one thing on the way out. I said something about could you imagine? I mean, I guess you could because it's you. I could not imagine looking in the mirror and seeing that face. Could you? I would live the worst, most miserable existence if that was the face staring at me in the mirror. I understand why you don't like me. This guy, he's getting upset or whatever. And then I go by. Those moments are awesome. Yes. I wanted to tell that guy almost hey, thank you for that. Everybody's too sweet. Everybody's too sweet around here. Yeah. It's nice to feel that moment. I love it. So the booing of the hurt player, 2021, I thought there's no way that was ever
late in the game too, like you said. If it game that cold, like everyone in there is liquored up. You have to be. Otherwise, you're just the most miserable person on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And I'm not acting like New England is full of people who wouldn't do the exact same thing.
Terrible.
I know they're terrible, and I mean you experienced it when Vinny went back, but
you should be though.
Yeah. I mean that's just part of it. Like Aaron said, I believe after the Bears, I still own you. Like they should be able to say what they want. They paid to be there. Like that's just part of the game.
And he's allowed
to respond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people that say this is just like on Twitter when they say something to you, and then you respond, like, "Oh, real classy of you." It's like, "Oh, you're a hero."
Yeah.
Oh, you were such a hero. I can't do that anymore. I can't really go at anybody because everybody that follows us is so rude. They're so good.
Incites and onslaught.
You know, and it's back in the day. I thought that was all bullshit, but it's real. You know, whenever. Because, I mean, you don't know immediately the first couple times you bury somebody. Like, there's the first couple times as I got bigger, I would bury somebody and I'd do it publicly, mostly because I'm like, hey, listen, look at, like, hey, I am beating this dude and he doesn't think I have time. I will go back and find a photo of him in his Twitter profile from 2 years ago, and I will put something. It was like, I was almost like proud of it. Like, hey, if you're going to talk shit on me, like, okay, I'm going to talk shit on you because I can't do that as a punter. But here on Twitter with you're plumbing ass. Like, I can do it. I could do it to you or whatever this person was doing. And then I would see the following, right? And I would like, well, that's not my fault. Right, I'd be like, well, that's not my fault. This guy said this to me. He's asking for this guy. But then as you get old, like I just got sick of my notifications being like just so like this
guy fucking sucks.
Yeah. And there was a couple situations that happened, you know, where it got bad. And I was like, all right, I'm never doing that again. But I do miss those days.
Yeah, sometimes I'll see like an argument between two people down there, and that's the hilarious
in your
shit.
comments.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Then you have to get to the point where I just mute the convo, though, because I'm like, I'm sick of the bullshit.
Yeah, why is this still popping up?
Yeah. That's a shame, man. It used to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a gift and a curse here up at 2 point. I think I'm at 2.2 soon, I think. The number doesn't move. You know, back in the day, I used to love Twitter so much. I get 1,000 followers. I felt like I was a fucking, oh my God, I'm killing it. All right, I got to 10,000 followers. Oh my God. And they used to tell you like every follower you would get almost at the beginning. And I was on there so much because that was in the middle of the 27 months where I wasn't allowed to do anything that somebody my age would do, especially with all the friends that I had. So I was just on Twitter all the time and I would see it. And then now there's just, you know, there's levels to it, I guess.
That's right.
It's tough up here, man. 2.2. It's a lot of time spent on one app with the bird.
Yeah.
A lot of time on there. Kind of riding the ebbs and flows of the old Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
140 characters at one point. You used to have to actually, like, copy-paste tweets, quote them. RT in your tweet to quote tweet it. This is long before things got a lot easier. That's the good old days of Twitter. Now, it's misinformation haven.
That's right.
In a viral spreader of things, and holy shit, what just happened? A wave just took somebody out. Who's trending? Nick Cannon. What's that for?
Oh, geez.
Massive python.
What is he doing?
The Photoshop some people do of other people that might be going through something
come
too.
on. Twitter's a problem. It's the best platform, though. Twitter's by far the best
bar none.
And if YouTube as well. Hey, YouTube much different though than Twitter. I mean, much different avenue of everything. Love absolute YouTube. You know, I'm checking out Twitch.
Yeah.
I've been checking out Twitch. I've been bouncing around people's Twitches.
Yeah, Twitch is nice.
Looking at Twitches. Seeing how Twitch going, giving some biddies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad.
We got a couple PlayStation 5s floating around.
Ooh.
And I got to reminisce about my favorite game growing up on PlayStation. You know, because I only remember like the bad times in video games that caused me to stop playing video games.
Right.
Yeah.
Because my thumbs aren't great. My thumbs aren't great. And as the games got more advanced and it required you to do much more detail with your humans, my thumbs couldn't do it. The dexterity on my thumbs was just garbage. It was bullshit. I should have worked on it a lot longer. But those old school PlayStation games are pretty simple.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those things are pretty
Four
simple.
buttons and...
Yeah, and I didn't even... you didn't get sick. I make myself sick whenever I'm doing the
Call of Duty.
any of that thing, and you got to move it. It's like my thumb just doesn't have the... So I think old school PlayStation might get me back in there. Maybe that's where I'll go over to the Twitch or whatever. I've been checking it out over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think How's the Gabagool should be maybe...
Okay. Made over there.
I think so. I watch old Dr. Disrespect. He's not on Twitch, obviously, but I watch old Dr. Disrespect stuff. What a fucking icon that guy is. Do you ever just stop and watch his shit?
Oh, yeah.
Every
He's
once in a while.
fucking epic.
Yeah, he's very good, too.
Just rolls into another room. I don't know what he does. He
Just has a green screen room.
It's awesome. He's the man. He makes video games look like they're a good time.
He has a CGI department. I don't know how, but he has a CGI department.
It's good business, dude. He's a FanDuel guy. Let's go to Sean in Seattle. What's going on, Sean? You guys are back, huh?
Yeah,
Russell Wilson sticking around.
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling about a totally different thing. So I go to Washington State. I'm an alumni for there. I just want to know, when will Gardner Minshew get his respect?
Okay, quick question. We'll talk about Gardner for sure. Him and Flint having a moment afterwards in the parking lot was awesome. Gardner gets a big-time win with Coach Sirianni. We talked about that yesterday. It's a Barker bite mentality. Gardner Minshew, definitely a biter.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not a Barker. Are you from Philadelphia and you went to Washington State?
No. I'm from here, but my guy's 39-11. He's better than what Sam Darnold and Cam Newton have in Panthers going on there. I think he's better than Baker Mayfield for the Browns.
That's on me.
I just feel like he's probably a top 20 QB in the league, and he's just being passed around for a 6th-round pick.
Okay, Sean, it's great. I mean, going to Jacksonville, being a late-round pick, and being the guy who's a part of the end of one organization and then a new regime coming in, and Urban Meyer being that new regime. So he kind of, I think, got lost in the fray, and then he gets traded away. Fuck it, we don't need this guy or whatever, because they did draft Trevor Lawrence, #1 overall. So anything they get in return probably wasn't a good business or any leverage, basically, for Urban Meyer in that negotiation. I might be wrong. Gardner's electrifying, and he has that it factor. He has the ability to make the plays. It feels like everybody loves him. His teammates love him. He is infectious whenever we see anything of him on the internet. I like the fact he wears jorts. I like the fact that he doesn't take himself seriously. Seems to be incredibly intelligent. He comes from Leach, right?
Yeah.
Leach was his coach.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like his football IQ, especially in the offensive thing, because if you listen to what anybody says about him, like, he coaches in college. So, I mean, there's a different level of shit in the NFL than there is in college. But he's allegedly this mastermind, genius, brainiac guy. And Gardner was like a spitting image of him on the field mentally. So I love Gardner. And I think if the Eagles get going and he remains their guy, I don't know if he's ever going to be somebody's forever guy, though, just because of his build. And I think that's not his fault. I don't think there's anything he can do about it. I just think naturally people are going to, just like they did with Fitz, who's might be, by the way, Ryan Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
Hell of a run, pal.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Fitzy.
He got a scope on his hip that'll knock him out for the rest of this season. And who knows, because last season he was contemplating, I think, retiring, but then he said, I don't have the options, and then Washington offered him. He said, I'm going to go do that. Now Heineke is basically a spitting image of the guy, but a little bit younger, cheaper, and more versatile, I think. So maybe Fitz is back. We don't know anything, but we do know his season is over. But Gardner Minshew, I think, will always be viewed as that type of quarterback. And that is, unless he goes and wins a couple Super Bowls, which he might do. Shit, we have no idea what's going to happen. There's only a couple quarterbacks that win Super Bowls, it seems like, on a regular basis. But I think the narrative is still out on old Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I don't know if we have, if there's enough sample size. I mean, he'll come in and do these things in spurts, but it's tough, when you look at some of these other backup quarterbacks who are now, getting more of an opportunity. I feel if he would have been in, New Orleans or something like that, you put him in a situation where it's they actually need a quarterback, and it wouldn't have been because is this one game audition going to get him a starting job? Probably not. But if he would have been in Denver and that, one of these teams who, Mike Glennon completed 4 passes last week for the Giants. These guys who keep getting these opportunities, and it seems like he just doesn't really. He'll come in, he'll get one win, and then he's kind of just an afterthought.
What is this? His third year? Fourth year? Third year?
Third year.
Third, I think.
Yeah. Third year. I mean, in Jacksonville. I mean, those are wasted years, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really even watched those games. I don't think you could see Jacksonville Jaguars games unless you had Sunday Ticket and DirecTV, and they had that 4-box, but you would have to okay them to be in the 4-box.
Yeah.
So unless you had all the teams, I don't think many people were watching him in Jacksonville. Philadelphia, obviously, much larger market in the NFC East. If he continues starting and making plays, maybe he'll get himself a spot.
But that's the thing, too, is look how Jalen Hurts has played. He's got that. I can't imagine a world where if Jalen Hurts is healthy and so is he, that they're going to start Gardner over Hurts.
Well, and think about this. They say the quarterbacks in this next draft class stink.
Right. Yeah.
Aside from Corral and Kenny Pickett. So maybe Gardner Minshew can run up his his resume a little bit for this next coming offseason. And maybe it's not gloom and doom for the Washington State legend that is Gardner. Maybe he's just getting started, pal.
I hope so.
Hell yeah.
He's electrifying. And that moment with his dad was awesome. Hour 2 on the other side with, our resident dad, AJ Hawk.
Yeah. That's right.
He's got 17 kids. We'll talk to him about that and more in 6 minutes. Cheers. All right, well, hey, Bill, we appreciate the hell out of your time, man. This was one of the best conversations I've ever had in my life. I appreciate this.
All right. Well, I don't understand why it took you so long to get me on this show. I'm a huge fan of yours. I think you're hilarious. So don't be a stranger.
I don't know if you mean that or not. But
I do. And by the way, you know what I've been singing about the Patriots season so far?
Huh.
It's beginning to look a lot like 2001.
All right, well,
Who is this Mac Jones? And we got Billy fucking B working on our fucking D, and all the Colts fans are gonna cry. Go fuck yourselves, everybody. I'll see you in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you.
Another week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr, thank you, man. I hate a lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just, because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing. How are you not going to hold a grudge to everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? That's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's a legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not Like, how do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself, and that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to in a healthy way love yourself and respect yourself, and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings, but look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said. And I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed. And I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control. And there's going to be people that don't like you and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game, and have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
You think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not.
They should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. The system crashed out. Only one camera is of use at this moment. For those that are watching at home, we apologize. This must be a Feel Good Friday.
I can't believe that the cameras aren't working on today of all days.
Yeah, well, I mean...
This is the universe.
Oh, hey, pal. How you doing?
Gabagool.
We're going.
I need a nice cold Bud Light.
What? Oh, you're fucking out.
How's your fam? How's your fam? Maybe a couple whiskeys.
What?
80,000 individual eyes that are looking at these eyes right now. What the fuck are you doing? 2 scotches.
What?
Are you kidding me? Tequila.
What?
55, 56, 63. That's how many new wrinkles I'm gonna bring to the office.
I get things done, Patty.
Vodka.
What?
He said I was on meth. I ain't ever done meth.
He's already dressed up like Russell Wilson.
Margarita. What?
He's Brett Michaels.
You're fucking out.
More ice cold Bud Light.
What?
More ice cold Bud Light.
What?
More ice cold Bud Light.
What?
Ice cold.
Cheers.
Thanks everybody watching.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Shall begin right. Hey, this is going to be a good hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This hour, we're going to see some phone calls from the 5-hour energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. This hour is going to see us talk about the Walter Payton Man of the Year list.
yeah.
Ooh. Congrats to all the fine gentlemen. Rob NFL doing amazing things. This hour is going to see the Toxic Table, at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor do their thing. At Tone Diggs, the host of Hammer, Dahn, is here alongside Gumpy, who looks incredibly fresh today, and the boys in the back. And joining us for this beautiful hour of live, we won an award.
What?
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, award-winning show.
It is award season.
You shitting me?
It's award season. We won one.
What did we win?
We won...
Sports Emmy.
No.
Not the big one? No. Not the white whale?
It was one of these ones that I did not know exist. It happened.
Oh.
We won Big Lead's Best Radio Show.
Woo! Radio?
Yeah.
Radio?
Yeah, Best Radio Show. We are on radio.
Oh, that's weird because the guy who comes on sometimes says that we don't do well for radio.
Who said that? Oh, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, radio expert AJ Hawk. Hey, I think we won because of how much you look out for the radio listeners.
Yeah, I've never once said you don't do well for the radio. I try to describe what is happening when you guys forget that a lot of people are listening strictly to the audio version.
Oh, yeah, and then, by the way, that is probably why we... Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ. I think that's why...
I saw that. Hey, I saw that it made headlines here in Columbus all over the papers, that award.
Got tweeted to me a couple times.
What's it called again?
It's USA Today. You ever heard of it, dude? Ever fucking heard of USA Today?
It was front page, USA Today and Columbus Dispatch on my doorstep this morning.
Holy shit.
Whatever the case, thank you for the honor, whoever voted on that. Thank you.
Thank you, voters.
But I am so jaded towards awards, I will never be appreciative of such a thing. So I am so sorry. I've lost so many that it's kind of, I've kind of got to the point where I don't respect them as much as I should because a lot of, fuck that, throughout your entire life. And then now it's like, you get one, I should be more grateful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Ward.
For the prestigious honor.
Thank you. All right, AJ, let's get to it.
Why would anyone give you a real award when we know you're just going to come on here and trash it?
Well, I'm not trashing it. I didn't trash it. I just gave massive thank you. He said prestigious honor.
Yes.
He just said prestigious honor. That's how we view it. And I don't mean to trash it. I don't mean to do such a thing.
You're not. I know. It's your self-deprecation. It's great. It's a great quality you have. But what about sports Emmys? Have they happened yet? Do we know if you're in the running? How's it go?
Give Dan Patrick a goddamn sports Emmy.
That's right.
All right, then we'll worry
He doesn't have one?
No. Well, he has a bunch, I guess. The show doesn't.
Oh, okay. And I know his old buddy's leaving to do his own show now, too.
Yeah,
what?
McLovin's leaving.
Yeah.
What? McLovin?
Yeah.
Congrats, dude.
Congrats,
Way to go.
McLovin.
He's going to do good. Him and Paul had that one show that one time, the Gentleman's or
Yeah,
something.
the Leatherman's.
Leatherman. I was on it.
After hours?
I was on it. It was kind of like After Hours, but better. They did like a real journalistic type interview conversation. I enjoyed those guys over there. Trailblazers, actual. You know what I mean? Now they started, I guess, at ESPN, did their own thing. Let's get them a goddamn Emmy, though. I'm not worried about that. I'm just pumped about this big lead one, dude. It was on AJ's doorstep. It was in our Twitter notification just moments ago. I mean, it's a big deal. I'm pretty Thank you, guys.
Thank you, big lead.
We'll take all the awards, right? Just let's make sure others get theirs first. Let's make sure everybody gets their awards that they deserve. Let's talk about awards. Bill Belichick was definitely going to win that game last night. We all knew it, right? I mean, we all knew it. As soon as we saw him in the Navy mask, with the way the weather was, that guy's literally been learning triple option football since he's 2 years old in Annapolis. Okay, this is what this guy grew up around. This is his entire being almost. He's still very tightly connected to the Naval Academy. I think he donates all the way back to the sport. I think he has an office there, by the way, at the Naval Academy football facility. I think he is. So we knew the game was going to revolve around running whenever there's 30-mile-an-hour winds. Now people are saying Mac Jones didn't do anything. Well, no shit. I mean, that was the game plan, was to run the ball every time. They get a win. The Bills prove once again they can't stop the run or run the rock as well as other teams that they're going to have to beat to get to the Super Bowl or high in the AFC. AJ, what was your takeaway from the evening?
Man, what a unique, interesting, weird game for sure. I thought at some point, didn't you feel like, all right, the Patriots may throw a pass at some point in this game? But I was thinking of the Bills defenders. Now, the Patriots attempt 3 passes all game. But still, I promise you on the sidelines, the Bills guys are talking, hey, be alert though, man. They're going to hit us with a play action. They're going to take a shot over the top, like a tight end up the seam, something. I would have felt like, I know defensively, all right, man, there's no way they can continue to run, right? Like, they're going to stop. They got to throw a pass in here sometime. Like, I'm sure that was in the back of their head.
Well, don't get bored, right? Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep, right? Because that is something where they could play action at. And I guess they did there to Smith and almost the wind kind of ate that thing up. Yeah. But that was sitting there probably, and I assume Mac Jones was potentially saying, he's a rookie, actually. I doubt he's saying anything, but there's probably some people over there like, hey, we pull one of these, and we just have somebody go. But then you have no idea if he's going to be able to hit that pass. I mean, Josh Allen, one of the most efficient ball throwers that the NFL has at this moment, he wasn't able to. I mean, there was checkdowns that were being missed because it was being blown out of proportion. Literally, not only the coverage, but the ball itself because of how windy it was up there. That's why every stadium should have a dome, AJ. 70 and sunny. Put a dome over that place. Put a dome over Lambeau. Put a dome over Soldier Field.
Do you want it to be retractable domes at least?
Yeah. And also, I'd like the grass to be able to walk outside.
Yeah,
okay. I'd like the grass to be able to walk outside so that it is Chicago grass, it is Lambeau grass, it is Buffalo grass. It can go outside, see its friends, other grass, come your fuck right back in, though. Let's make this thing 70 and sunny for everybody, AJ.
I mean, it definitely sounds like a cheap retrofit to all the current stadiums that don't have grass that walks outside and comes back. So just a quick little renovation, maybe in the offseason for all these stadiums. They can figure that out, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just kind of put that in. I mean, SoFi.
Put it in.
It's simple.
So, I mean, I've seen a dome built on Duquesne University's field.
How does that ever
work?
The bubble.
First off, who came up with that? Who came up with the idea at first? Was he laughed out of the room? And how do they actually execute it?
The grass thing?
Yes.
This dude was accused of smoking so much dope whenever he pitched this idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a grass elevated on a stage. Okay. All right? Okay. It's going to be a little softer because it's not cement. It's going to be lifted up. And guess what that stage is going to do? Every 4 or 5 hours or so, it's just going to hit a button. It's going to lift up the wall, and then that thing's just going to walk itself outside.
What?
Yeah, once it gets sun, it's a happy grass. Happy grass gets good sun, and then it comes right back in, and then it actually hits a button to rain on itself inside. And it goes, it's actually going to be the perfect grass in the middle of the desert because the grass is going to walk itself outside. Get the fuck out of here. You're on drugs. That's what somebody had to say. And now it's like, no, everybody needs to have it. I guess they even got it in the UEFA and shit. Mm-hmm. And they might have started this whole thing. To be honest, I just got into soccer again because the United States is better than everybody. We got another guy playing. We got another guy playing in the Champions League. Congrats to us. The world's game now in the United States.
Figured it out.
Hey, the soccer Lombardi's coming home. Hate to break it to you.
Isn't there 15 soccer Lombardis?
Well, there's a lot of conference championships and there is award shows around, but there's only one soccer Lombardi, and that's in Qatar here in 2022.
That's the World Cup?
Yeah.
You know,
is that bigger than an Olympic gold medal?
Yeah. Fuck
What
that
are you
Olympic gold
talking
medal. We
about,
send our
Steve?
high school kids to that goddamn
Yeah,
thing.
I thought it was Qatar.
Qatar.
Is it Qatar? I thought it was Qatar.
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 I believe
Either
it
way, I
can
heard it was
be
a
pronounced
safe
both.
work environment.
I know it's hotter.
It for sure is not.
It's not a safe work environment.
It is
Thousands of migrant workers were killed building those stadiums.
Are you serious?
Let's have a moment of silence.
Tradition.
Yeah, well,
Tradition
are you
unlike
sure?
any
Because
other.
we'll be here for the next
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for every single one.
Don't you remember?
Unless you want to just come back next Tuesday.
It's our sport.
Don't you remember when we did this for Brazil?
It is our sport, though. Now it is our sport. I feel like we do have to pay at least homage.
Yeah.
How did fucking Qatar get a World Cup? They knew it was going to
They
be 2,000
greased Sepp
degrees.
Blatter's pockets big time.
We know how.
All right, fuck it.
How about all those soccer people coming after me for disparaging the game in the way that I speak about us having the best team of all time, and they're just sitting back watching the World Cup go to Qatar and go, yeah, this is our sport. Shut the fuck up, Winota. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't there other stuff to talk about? Winota. Pipe down, pal. Anyways, with that being said, let's get back to the sport that is actually awesome. Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl this year, AJ?
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's tough to count them out, right? I don't know. Their defense, I'm very, very impressed with how their defense plays, and I love Mac Jones. I like how their O-line – I mean, let's talk about their O-line. Like, you can't run the ball 46 times unless your offensive line is dominating up front, and they obviously did that.
How about just being completely cool with the challenge, excited about the challenge? Now, there isn't one offensive lineman that I've ever met in my entire life that doesn't want to run the ball because that helps them in the pass game, but actually being told, hey, we're running every single play. Like, hey, tonight you are coming out of your stance, you are firing, and we are doing that every single fucking play. Not a one play are you going to be doing this. Not one of them. You are going to be driving a sled, basically, for all 4 quarters tonight because we need you because there's a Bill tornado out there. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. It's the ability to be able to do that. And that is what, and I said this in the last hour, but it's real. Like, that Patriots team can just adjust to whatever. They just have so many different identities. They have more accents than Brian Kelly. They could do anything, AJ, at any time, and they change the defense. They change the offense. It's not a big deal for them. So that's why I think going into that game, it started at 2.5. You got the Patriots minus 2.5 or plus 2.5.
Yeah, what's our updated score?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But it started at plus 2.5. You got the Patriots. You know, even though I like the Patriots and I like touchdown for the hair. I mean, there's a under and there was a lot of things that I liked about that game. I was forced to take the other one in lieu of competition with AJ Hawk. I had to do it, but it felt like it went from 2.5. Then when the weather conditions came out, it went to 3. Patriots got an extra half a point. And I think in this office, and I assume the same for you because it was kind of happening as the show was ending yesterday, we knew Belichick was going to win that game. Did we not? Did we not just think like, oh, this is a Bill Belichick fucking game here?
Yeah, absolutely. But the only thing I'm thinking, if, let's say Buffalo found a way to win at the end, would people be killing Belichick's game plan?
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we have to do on a day-to-day. I mean, we just have to do it. It works or it doesn't work. And for whatever reason, anytime there's this type of game, it works for Belichick and it doesn't work for everybody else. Like McDermott had quite a press conference after the game. Quite a press conference. I mean,
a lot of guys did over there.
Yeah, well, Daboll got one. Daboll got one for his decisions. Boom. Isaiah McKenzie and another guy got one as returners that McDermott didn't drop. You get one too. McKenzie said, that's fucked up. Wait a minute. I didn't know that was the case. But he said, let's see. McDermott also said he didn't trust having Isaiah McKenzie or Marquez Stevenson back returning punts in this weather. That's something, says Matthew Beauvais at Matt_Beauvais. Isaiah McKenzie goes, damn, I didn't know. He found out via Twitter that was happening. I mean, quite a situation, quite a press conference, but also in that press conference, McDermott said, let's not fucking give too much credit to Bill Belichick here, okay? We fumbled, we turned the ball over on the 30, we had this, we had that. This is not Bill Belichick winning this goddamn game, okay? This is us beating ourselves and not winning. And maybe that's a valid point, maybe that's a fair point. They were very close to winning, but it just feels like Bill, this is what happened. This is Bill. This is just how it goes.
Yeah. And that's what people are saying today. Like, this is going to be one of those games you talk about when you look back on Belichick's career, how he can win so many different ways. He's a master, all that. But I think largely what he does is he forces other teams to make mistakes. He's like, hey, we're not going to beat ourselves. We know eventually you probably will beat yourselves. I have a good feeling that we're going to come out on the winning end more more likely than not when we actually play what we do, and we just force you to make mistakes, and we're going to be patient.
It's incredibly high football IQ, right? And discipline, and everybody understanding what their role is. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Mac Jones literally just, sits down in the huddle. Mm-hmm. Same fucking thing. Here we go, right? All right.
Just kidding.
All right. Same fucking thing on two. Ready? All right. Just the ability to do that, though, I think is something in of itself. This is just like Tom Brady allowing Bill Belichick to coach him as hard as he did for 20 years in New England, because that showcases to everybody, like, hey, if Tom Brady can get it, you can get it. Third-year guy who might be playing well right now and might be feeling yourself and maybe up for a new contract. If Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, is getting chewed out, you can get it as well. And that was always talked about, like, hey, Bill Belichick coaches everybody the exact same. Well, Tom Brady allowed that to happen for a long time. Tom Brady didn't say, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. Whenever he's talking to Peyton Manning, where Peyton Manning was actually doing that to people in meetings as opposed to being on the other end of it, Tom Brady allowed that to be something. And I think that's a trait that not everybody has, which is one that doesn't get talked about with Tom Brady nearly enough. Mac Jones just being like, yep, we're fucking running the ball every single time, not having any ego, not saying anything about it, just like, hey, the team did this whole thing. I mean, that just like, it goes into it even more, you know, like, because they're trying to bury Mac Jones right now for what he did last night. And it's like, what do you want?
Who was they?
You know who.
Well, I mean, bury him just to say, like, hey, they're not burying him. Aren't they burying people that keep propping him up? They're saying, like, oh, he won a game and he only threw the ball 3 times.
No, they're burying him.
If so, facto, right?
But what could have should he have changed the call at the line of scrimmage? What are you talking about?
Well, and I guess he did on that one, everybody. Well, that was the, at least, assessment by the internet and television that he threw at the Jonnu Smith, which, by the way, might not have been inaudible, but we have no idea. I don't know what he was supposed to do. This is just like when people were burying Jimmy G.
Yeah.
In the NFC Championship game, he threw it like 8 times, I think, maybe 9 times, 8 times, and he ran for 185 yards before contact. And they're like, Jimmy G is so bad. It's like, what are we even doing? Like, why are we?
Well, I'm sure there's other quarterbacks out there that are like, man, I wish I could throw the ball only 3 times and we would still win the game. Like, anyone would love to have that, and it's not Mac Jones' fault. What are you talking? Like, he's running what the coaches tell him to run.
Yeah, well, Mac Jones is a rookie.
If he would have went 2 for 26, then you could blame Mac Jones.
So Josh Allen, one of the most talented ball throwers we have, right? I think we all agree.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's very good ball tosser.
Yeah.
He went 15 of 30 last night for 145 yards. Okay, 39 rush yards. He had 15 incompletions. Now, that's a very negative way to look at this thing, but honestly, Josh Allen is a very efficient passer of the ball. It was impossible to throw the rock last night. Bill Belichick knew that. McDaniels knew that. It's a rookie quarterback. I just don't like the Mac's getting buried for this. And now, if what Peyton said about Mac Jones is true, Mac has no clue about anything going on in the world. Allegedly, he told Peyton he doesn't check his phone in the middle of the week, so he didn't text Peyton back until like Saturday or something like that. And then he wouldn't give Mac. He told Peyton he had to go through the PR department to talk to him. Mac Jones is the only quarterback this year that hasn't allowed Peyton Manning to have a conversation with him, although it seemed like there was a text or two that was exchanged. This guy seems like the perfect Patriot at this point.
Yeah, and he also said after the game when they asked him, like, do you have a problem with only throwing it, 3 times a game? He says, I don't care if we throw it, every play. I don't care if we run it every play. As long as we score more points than the other team and we win the goddamn game, that's the only thing that matters. So.
He seems so super chill, too, when he's talking. 2 years ago, man, I was playing scout team for my 4th straight year. Okay, I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter.
I do not give a...
It feels like Mac Jones was groomed from a young age to be the next Patriots quarterback.
It really does. And then Saban obviously is what Bill and Saban are like tight friends, and they run a similar ship. And then, he's there literally for 4 years as practice squad guy. So he's eating the Alabama culture longer than anybody else, watching the amount of film. Bryce Young told, congrats to him on being a Heisman finalist.
Yeah. Good boy, Bryce.
He actually won it, I think. Congrats to him for winning it. Congrats to him for winning it.
He won on Saturday.
He talked to Kirk Herbstreit on College Game Day. They had a special. That show's interesting. I watched it for the first time on Saturday.
Game Day or just what?
Game Day, yeah.
Yeah, you used to be on it.
A few times, yeah. And then the minutes disappeared, and it was like, well, I'm going to sleep instead of doing this. You know what I mean? But it was quite an honor to be a part of that show. But watching the Game Day, Kirk Herbstreit talked to Bryce Young. Cali kid. He seemed super chill, super cool, and he talked about how much film Mac Jones watched. He said, so when I got here, it's a different role because he was a superstar in high school. Obviously, he's still very young, but he knew he had to buy into what his role was, which was backup quarterback, scout team quarterback, whatever the case is. And he got a chance to watch Mac Jones, basically. And he was like, Mac Jones, the amount of film that Mac watched and the way he watched film, that helped him and kind of matured him. It's like Mac Jones showed up at New England, not being a guy who was able to just beat everybody with his natural ability. He was able, although he probably could have, he had to grind and be forced away. And the amount of number ones that he's been around and their work ethics and being in the Alabama culture for that long, and Saban, who's a grinder, everybody says, it does feel like he's the fucking perfect Patriot. It's insane that he ended up at 15.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go 3. This wasn't supposed to happen. He was supposed to be the perfect 49er. And now it seems like, and this is coming after a game where he only threw the ball 3 times. And we're saying all this, but him just throwing it 3 times, not giving a fuck, and then going right back into the meeting tomorrow, putting his phone away for a week. And it's like this guy is the perfect Patriot, it feels like.
Well, and you add into the fact that, he watched all that film and that, like you said, he was the 15th pick. There was 4 guys taken before him that, other people thought were better than him after he just won the national championship and was a Heisman finalist. And obviously Devontae ended up winning the...
And he doesn't care, it seems like.
He doesn't give a shit. It doesn't matter to him at all as long as we win. And that's, the best part. We'll see what happens going. And if he keeps getting better, too. Because he's
going to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is, we're assuming his body is going to change, too. Uh-huh. He's going to evolve in that fashion. I mean, his brain, he's going to start recalling defenses. Remember how Aaron has a very special brain. I mean, it is, it is a next level Jeopardy brain.
Yeah,
he is a brainiac, a Rain Man. It is insane.
Sounds like Cooper Kupp. Very similar if you saw that clip of him talking about the coverage, what was going on.
Well, there's a fire zone blitz, and I didn't know if anybody came behind the cover 2 there. And then once I saw that, I just knew I had to outrun the safety to the end zone or whatever. And
it was awesome.
I would have loved to ask that question. Okay. Back to you. Cooper Kupp leading the NFL in receiving, and Devontae Adams, obviously Packer at 3. Justin Jefferson, here we go, with the Vikings, who have been heartbroken so many times, including us, when they lose to the Lions on the last play of the game. Jared Goff, I told him that was the throw we needed, man, motherfucker, man. That's what Dan Campbell told Peter King. He actually told Jared Goff immediately. What'd you say to Goff right then, asked Peter King of Football Morning in America.
I said, that's the way to throw it when we needed it, motherfucker.
That's
man.
Right. That's exactly what I said, he says. He had a couple of rough throws, Campbell said. For him to come back on that last drive and march us down the field and do what he did, it says a lot. He needed it. We needed it. More importantly, okay? So, obviously, the Lions get a big win. Football Morning in America continues to deliver gems. Shout out to Peter King, man.
Shout out to Peter.
Thanks, Pete.
Guy lives in a different world, Peter King.
Yeah.
He lives in a complete different world. He has sacrificed his entire life to the game. But let's get back to the top 5. Devontae Adams obviously has Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. So that is a big deal. And Debo, by the way, he's been running it as well. I don't know what his rush yards are. Jamar Chase, he is in top 5 as a rookie. Congrats to these guys.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers told us at one time, they're running a defense that I saw in my second year playing or whatever, and I didn't remember it until I saw somebody move. Like, that is and if you watched last night, the ManningCast, it was the same play was called. And both Peyton and Eli were like, same play. Like, it's such a big deal in the NFL, I guess. Is recall a massive thing, huh? That is the largest thing in the NFL when it comes to not only quarterback play, but mostly all NFL players on the field trying
everything. Yeah, defense too. So teams want to run the same kind of route combinations. Like, they're going to go to their staple of combinations they have, but you hear them talk about window dressing, what they're going to do pre-snap. Like, they're going to get into a final look, whether it's 3-by-1, 2-by-2, but they're going to get to it in different ways, shifts, motions, and they want to get it at the last second. So you can't have that recall before the snap. Like, you need to all of a sudden, here we go. All right, we know 3-by-1 at this part of the field, they like to take shots or run a little bunch routes, whatever. They want to get to that the last second, so all of a sudden they're snapping the ball as he gets to the motion, so you can't have that recall and like, here we go, 9-7-3, or you call out the combination.
So you were a brainiac too, huh?
No, I'm just saying that's how
No, but you were though. You had to have been, right? All-time leading tackler for the Packers, Mike linebacker, and for the Centerville Elks. You had to. You were. What were you? You just kind of knew sense what was going on? You loved film? What were you?
No, not as much now. I think honestly, as I've gotten older and gotten out of the league, because I'm not in there, I don't get to see like the the play calls and what the defenses are called and what it looks like. It's harder for me to figure it out, so I'm actually more intrigued to try to figure out what's happening.
So when you're watching games, you're trying to guess what's going on, or you can't because you haven't watched film all week. You don't know what that team's tendencies are.
I mean, I might at times try to guess what's going on, but I'm sure as hell not saying it out loud and trying to be the douche in the room. Make us
better.
Shot at Tony.
Make us better.
Didn't Fickle say he wouldn't really know what the play was, but he would just know where to be?
Well, he said that they had different languages. You know, Fickle would be like, "Hey, you going 3-2, blah blah blah," and he just said, "I'll be in the flat, dude."
Yeah,
right. Isn't that what you said, AJ?
I'll relate. Yeah, I'll relate to if it's a zone. Yeah, I know what I sometimes people confuse me with language. And I think you need to make it as simple as you possibly can. There's no reason to make something simple sound complicated, and that's kind of what coaching is.
Yeah, it's
Luke wasn't doing that. Luke was awesome. I was just 19, 20 years old. I didn't. Sometimes when I get frustrated when things are more complicated than they should be.
Oh, me too. I hate it. Like, hey, what are we adding any extra clouds into this beautiful thing we got going on? Why is it getting hazy? Why is there more people getting their hands into this conversation? Get the fuck out of here. That's more than football.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. And some of the cooks don't know what the fuck's being cooked.
Exactly.
So get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Trying to boil some water.
Hey, you, what the fuck are you here? Maybe put your little salt dash on. Okay, say you're here, and then get the fuck out of the kitchen, dude. I'm trying to make an awesome meal. You're fucking holding it up, actually. So if you could just bounce the fuck out of the email, that would be fantastic.
Okay. That felt weirdly personal towards someone.
No, it was. That guy, I don't even want to say his name because he does not.
Salt Bay?
Huh?
Talking about Salt Bay?
No, he's an icon. Everyone wants to be him. Kids are looking up to that guy to be Salt
guy's
Bay.
the worst.
He did say that.
He is shoving his meat in everybody's mouth, though, whenever you go over this thing. I mean, I watch those videos. Feels like a lot of forced meats in the mouth. But
Dubai.
Is he in Dubai?
Yeah, it's all the big money. Oh, no.
Oh, no. What happened?
I had a thing. But now I don't know which ones are dead and which ones are alive.
Oh, no.
It's like Russian roulette with
How
batteries.
does that I thought you had a system.
Well, I did, but the Amazon rechargeable batteries are new. So this is a new system that I have not.
Have not implemented yet.
Come on. I think my system was the new ones are down here, old ones are up here. Come on. I fucking knew my system. I got a system, dude. Now these ones are all dead. They'll go into the thingy. We'll charge them during the break. Look at this.
Boom.
It's a professional show. This is an award-winning fucking radio show, dude.
I know, man. You're saving the earth, too, at the same time.
Yup.
Goddamn right.
You're right.
I know that's what you care about.
Like the rest of us.
Well, I want to save the octopi.
Yeah?
That's right.
Did you watch that octopi documentary yet?
I haven't seen that or the macaques yet.
Jeez.
Are we able to keep the Omicron away from the octopi?
I know that you saw a lot of the same things that maybe our toxic crew saw on the internet this morning. Maybe a blue check put out a tweet about Omicron not being anywhere near the omniness.
Who did? Who put it out? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Now we have to call into question who that person is because we did a little bit extra research, and who knows if it's coming from the, that's actually real tree or not. We don't know because everything's fucking bullshit in the world that we live in.
That's right.
Yeah. Well.
Allegedly, Omicron's a big old bitch, though.
Whoa!
That's potentially being talked about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Delta said, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Mm-hmm.
And Omicron showed up out of Botswana and South Africa, and Delta was like, whoa, child, please. We've been doing that shit a long time. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Delta baited Omicron. That is potentially what is happening, but we have not confirmed with our sources. We just want to let everybody know that Omicron has potentially been misrepresented as a powerful force on this show, and for that, I will take ownership if it is wrong, but we don't know if it's wrong yet or not. We're just telling you what we were doing.
I don't think this is the only show.
Not good. Not good.
Oh, no.
Those are not shows. So now I don't Oh, no. This is not good. This is the best radio show going. I'm so sorry to all the other radio
Give him the
shows.
Duracells, Z.
What's that, buddy?
I said give you the Duracells. You can't do the rechargeables anymore.
I mean, that is something I
just have a couple fresh energizers.
Andy. Who's got to reset the rechargeables?
I'm so sorry to the earth because I don't know which ones are which in here now.
We'll reset them.
Yeah,
No,
rechargeables. Charge them all.
Good run.
Well, if I charge them, though, it's already charged. What if it?
They won't.
No, I want to be supercharged.
That's
You don't know, remember when we had all those hoverboards and all of a sudden things are getting charged
lighting
and
on
blowing
fire.
up all over the place. Tyson was breaking his neck, and then next thing we know, they were blowing up everywhere.
Yeah.
Are hoverboards back for the holidays or no?
I don't think
No.
so.
Yeah, what happened? Why aren't they? They're awesome.
I think they're blowing up.
I mean, there's a lot of injuries on those things. That's for sure.
I loved them. Were you good on there? Probably. You're an athlete.
Oh yeah, I told you I used to carry my kids around on them and stuff.
See,
That's dangerous.
That's too much.
You know.
you should say less on this show. I fall asleep while I'm driving. I keep my car on while I'm pumping gas. I'm hovering around with my kids on a hoverboard. I mean,
I'm not on a drawbridge over a cliff. Like I'm in my kitchen.
Very nice kitchen, by the way.
Yeah, marble edges are very sharp.
Very nice kitchen. Let's get to the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Did you ever win the Walter Payton Man of the Year?
Yep, 3 times.
Wow. Let's get Congratulations, AJ.
Nice job, AJ.
Let's get. Did you actually ever win it?
No.
I did 1 year, 2014. I was asked to be a part of Kenny Moore's video, actually, one of his videos, telling him that he had won the Walter Payton Man of the Year this year. That was an honor. Congrats to Kenny Moore, who should definitely make at least his first Pro Bowl this year, get a new paycheck from Chris Ballard, and also maybe win the Walter Payton Man of the Year because of all the amazing stuff he has done. But he is not the only one. Everybody in the NFL has players on their team doing amazing things for the community. The Walter Payton Man of the Year is not normally an easy task to award to one of the players on your team because there's so many good things happening behind the scenes that we never, ever hear about. The only thing you ever hear about is the drama and the bullshit because negativity hogs publicity. The Walter Payton Man of the Year is one of the awards each year where although people aren't doing good things in their community to win an award, it is a great time to spotlight the fucking majestic stuff that is going on in all the NFL cities and beyond. So congratulations to all of these dudes.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, AJ?
Absolutely. Yeah, we say it all the time. There's a lot of really, really good dudes in the NFL. This is a list of some of them doing some great stuff. But yeah, there's so many guys doing awesome things. But obviously that's boring to hear. People want to hear about when you pull a gun out or do something bad.
Or,
fake your vaccine card.
Why? Say you're immunized. Why? That son of a bitch is lying. But that guy also put together a few $100,000, I think, for his hometown small businesses.
Yeah, why? I know Aaron Jones is he definitely should get it too. What if it was / Aaron Rodgers for that too? Would people be upset?
Yeah, well, of course, Aaron Rodgers won't let Aaron Jones have his own time. Yeah. This guy, he lied. He doesn't deserve to be a Man of the Year. What if Aaron Rodgers was going to win it? And then it was like, oh, Aaron, everybody thinks you're just a gigantic liar. You know how you're not going to ever win MVP ever again? You're also never going to win this year.
Can't give it.
Awards across the board, pal. We're sorry. But.
Yeah, so no more awards for you. You are a part of the Big Leads radio show. You're
true.
Congratulations, Aaron.
Congrats, Aaron.
I know what the Big Lead. I know what that is. It's a site, right?
Yeah, you actually came in and was like,
I've read their stuff. I know what they do.
That's not what you said earlier. He said, I don't know who they are, and then he accused us of shitting on it. It was we're the bad.
I said, if why would anyone else give you an award when you're just going to kill it and say it doesn't mean anything?
I'm not killing it.
You did.
You did. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You said it was on the cover of the paper.
Tomato,
get the paper.
We can move on.
All right, let's get to a break. We can move on because we don't need to bury the Big Lead like this. They gave us a prestigious fucking award, dude.
Yeah. You're a real asshole sometimes, AJ.
What's that all about?
Did Tubman get the primetime spot that Cuomo had?
Of course. Of course, that's where you go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jeff, we can still see you.
All right, on the other side of this break, he came back and he owned it. Remember his first interview?
He did.
The lady was like, so welcome back. Last time we saw you, you were beating your shit.
Yes.
Yes.
Anything to say about that?
It's true. It was a difficult
You did
time.
catch me. It was a different stroke, too. That's not my normal go.
I've canceled my browser's account.
Yes. I no longer spend $1,000 a month on
What
porn.
did he say?
I've gone to the same church Ben Roethlisberger has gone to.
I think him and Nick Cannon are hosting a new show.
Well, Nick Cannon's
come
getting.
on.
Nick Cannon take him a long time to get from top to bottom there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to the break. We're back in 4 minutes with results from the weekend against the
Like
spread.
a poet.
Huh?
You're like a poet.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, well, it happens a lot. It misses a lot of sneak by. The crew here out of my dumb brain, but there's a couple that hit every once in a while. But we are back in 4 minutes with the against the spread results of Week 13. AJ Hawk versus myself. I think you're going to want to see these results because it's not as cut and dry as you would think.
No.
It's not as clear cut as you would imagine. Now, we should be building up AJ's confidence because he is the one who has tossed the saddle over the Super Boost horse for this Thursday night. Speaking of horse, holy shit.
Oh, jeez.
Medina Spirit?
Come on.
It deserves a little bit better than what you did there.
No, I was mentioning it because I assume you're doing a moment of silence.
Oh, are you? Is this why it's good radio, you think? Because, just words spill out of your mouth.
Is this for the horse and Bob Baffert as well?
No. Bob Baffert's
That's
still alive. He's going to have to
shit.
deal with a lot, though. Okay, but I would like to have a moment of silence for Medina Spirit, who we did not know a lot about going into a race. Then we learned too much about.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we felt bad for this incredible, majestic horse.
Beautiful creature.
All of a sudden I know her passed away in the middle of a race. Rest in peace, Medina Spirit. Moment of silence. You ran good, Medina.
Stop cutting to the picture.
You ran.
The poor horse is dead.
Well,
Honoring her.
we're honoring Medina right now, and you're being
That's
an
my
asshole.
photo.
I mean, it makes it so real when you show me the horse.
Well,
It is real.
that horse in that barn right there ran fucking good.
That's the only horse that's died under Bob Baffert, right?
Well,
That we
know about.
So the way you asked that question makes me believe that you know a lot more than this. But honestly, rest in peace, Medina. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Medina.
Wait, did he really have a heart attack while racing?
I think so,
believe
yeah.
so.
I believe that has happened before. This is the first I've heard of it. We have a horse owner expert in office, Bruce. He said that when that happens, it's like a heart attack. They collapse completely. It's sad. Sounds incredibly sad. Rest in peace to Medina. That horse we will no longer see be dominant. The horse we will see dominant is the Super Boost horse that AJ Hawk is going to be straddling starting Thursday night. So we hope your confidence is high, sir, because on the other side, we're going to have to break down the record, the stats. You and I will answer some phone calls. Then we will prep for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday and what will be the biggest Aaron Rodgers Tuesday to date.
Hell yeah.
Woo! What will the next book be in the book club? Where was he in L.A.? Was he in L.A.?
in LA?
What's he doing?
Getting coffee?
Oh, is he trying to go to the Rams? Is he out there talking to Sean McVay?
Better not be.
What's he in L.A. for? We'll talk to him about that and more on the other side of this 4-minute break. Perfect. We do have music going. That's good. See you then. Bye, AJ. AJ, you're going to be interested by this record.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it's all changed.
No, I think I'm the one that got screwed, but we'll see in 4 minutes. Oh, here we go. All right.
Put that capo on.
Something?
No, I was going to let you lead the way, and then we were going to sing our song that we practiced.
What do you guys sing?
It's our song, Aaron. Go ahead.
Our song?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was just about to get into it. It's Tuesday. They say is that Aaron Rodgers is rather great. The son of a bitch lied. Oh. I thought that's where we're still writing it. I thought we were gonna. You guys just got a chance to kind of dive into a writer's room with me and Aaron.
The New Jersey Devils made some big news with their jersey reveal. We got PK. There he is. PK
Covering our faces. It's beautiful.
Old PK Sluban in the new Devils alternate jerseys that they're going to be wearing on either December 6th or December 8th, I believe. These jerseys were actually helped designed by Martin Brodeur, legendary Hall of Fame, one of the greatest goaltenders of all time to ever play. Look at these things, dude. They fucking stink.
I saw somebody tweet, I forget who it was, said instead of CCM on their gloves, they should have it say gloves on their gloves.
It does have the ties. It has the sweater jersey ties, a la Marty Brodeur. That was his touch, apparently. That was his little piece that he added in. Do you think because Marty made it that they were kind of like, I can't say no to Marty. Yeah, looks good. Looks good, Marty.
Fucking Marty cooked up these shitty unis, and now we gotta try and. What are we gonna do?
Our greatest goalkeeper of all time by a million signed off on these jerseys that say Jersey on the front. We better fucking get him out there now.
Like, that's something that could have happened. Like,
Ruppers here. Ruppers.
What's up, fellas? How's it
Crystal
going?
clear. Look at you in the bowels of the arena. What's up, buddy?
Look at this, man. Right down here. Zamboni just went on. Getting the flood for the third period. So let's see if I'm going to see if we go out ice level. Hold on,
Just take us on the ice.
Let's see what I can get away with the old barn. What's up, man? How are you?
Don't drive the Zamboni,
Can I come out here real quick?
Jeez.
You're not going to stop me? I can't hear you guys, so hold on. We'll get the pens.
Can't hear us. The arena's so damn loud. All those Pens fans in there. Look at this. We're going on the ice. Diner PPG Paints Arena. I love it.
Boys are getting it done here. I got one bone to pick. The fucking phone's blowing up from Marty Bedore saying that you're shitting on his creation. What happens? I leave for 5 minutes, and I'm getting Hall of Fame former teammates calling me and giving me shit. He said your boys are shitting on my idea.
Me.
We buried
it. You know that was me. You know that was me.
This Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is presented by Arby's.
Oh, yeah.
If you've been eating greasy pizza, terrible burgers, and feeling like crap, you got to figure it out. Head to Arby's and enjoy the classic roast beef.
What?
The beef and cheddar.
What?
The chicken cheddar ranch.
What?
And, of course, the brand new boneless wings we've been loving all season long.
Hell yeah.
All that and 22 other delicious sandwiches are all ready to make our lives better. Go get your Arby's today.
Hey, it's really good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I thought there was a longer read, to be honest. I was going to find a golf ball. I thought I had some time.
State Farm one coming after it?
State Farm stinks.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know how their insurance actually is.
I think it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, people say it's pretty good. I guess.
Yeah.
Their marketing people stink, though.
Yeah. Hey, whatever they did, though, with the Jake from State Farm character, kids love that dude. That's all they talk about.
Yeah, he's a celebrity, right? I think Aaron's talked about how he is an actual celebrity, and he was at the game, was a big deal, and he's recognized in the newest commercial. I think, that's Jake. Speaking of Jake Fromm, State Farm, Jake Fromm started all of a sudden for the Giants.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
What a transition right there, man.
Thank you. I mean, I just thought of it. I wouldn't have done it if you didn't bring up State Farm, who's been canceled by his show. Okay, we don't like them. We don't like State Farm at all.
Nope.
They talk shit on Ty. You like people that just bury.
Wait, what did they say about Ty?
No, it wasn't just Ty. It was Connor. It was everybody. Hey, keep the idiots out of the read.
Have those fuckers pipe down, please.
Basically, is what they said.
A lot of people say that.
No, State Farm loudest. I think they were the ones who don't even read it.
They tell the Bugle Boys to shut up.
Yeah, that's kind of what they said.
Come on, State.
Anyways, good transition. Jake Fromm starting for the Giants, dude. Good for him. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Skycam Mike Glennon takes a long fall down, bumps his head. He is in concussion protocol. Danny Dimes still hurt or whatever. Now Jake Fromm, State Farm, who was on the practice squad of the
Buffalo
Bills not too long ago. Obviously, acclaimed quarterback out of the University of Georgia, will be the starter for the Giants against the Chargers. Team hopes Jones won't miss much more time, but Jake Fromm signed off Buffalo's practice squad, could be in line to start Sunday against a Chargers team that needs to win, says Adam Schefter. That's a 10.5-point spread currently. Chargers at home in SoFi Stadium. A lot of Giants fans probably going to be there, I assume. New York and L.A., a lot of cross-population there, I think. 10.5 points is a lot of points.
A lot of points.
They got no film on Jake Fromm.
Yeah, 10.5 points. I mean, against the Chargers, are they looked at as one of the top teams in the league right now?
They can. Right, they can show up and they can buzzsaw. Now, I was attacked by a lot of Bengals fans yesterday because they said that I only watched a highlight because I was, talking about the blowout. I guess the Bengals started coming back in the middle of that game, and I saw that happen. But inevitably, in the end, fumble, scoop, and score is still part of the fucking game. I mean, that happened in the game, and those are opportunities that can't happen if you're looking to win. So the Chargers are maybe back, but do we know anything about the Chargers? They could win by 21-30 against this Giants squad. They could win by 2. They could lose to Jake Fromm, and I think none of us would be that surprised, right?
I wouldn't be. I mean, nothing would surprise me now in the league. Like someone getting Packers play the Bears this week, right?
Yeah, Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. What's the spread?
10.5, I think. 12.5.
Jeez. You would think the Packers are going to win by 21 or more, but who the hell knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, that is 12.5 Packers at home in Lambeau. Who's getting introduced? We will ask.
It feels like it's been the defense for 6 weeks in a row.
Oh, they haven't introduced the offense?
No, remember they did back-to-back defense, I believe.
What's that all about, AJ?
I don't know. We could ask him. Maybe he had to be vaxxed to be introed.
Oh.
Could be.
He's got the antibodies.
Oh, it would have been awesome.
If you want to run out in your intro, you're going to have to get the shot.
Because the people you're running by, we don't know. So you go. Yeah. You could jog out and then turn right to the sideline. You can't run all the way out to the middle, though. No way. No, sir.
Take him out in like a Pope mobile, with a big bubble. Drive him out in that.
I think that'd be a good idea. Speaking of the records and the games and the spreads and everything, we pick every single week. I don't know what Darius Butler did. We'll have to dive into that. I assume he did very well. He has a very big brain. He was filling in for AJ on Friday, which we can't thank him enough for. AJ, you and I were coming down to last night. I was forced into taking Buffalo, even though I wanted the Patriots. I wanted Harris touchdown. I wanted the under. I wanted all these things. I was forced into taking the Bills for the good of the goddamn record in the thing that we do,
Yeah, how'd it go?
Well, I want to let you know, this is what it should have been. This is what it should have been. It should have been me 9 with 7 losses, you 9 with 5 losses. Mm-hmm. So I would have more losses, so I'd be ranked below you, but we would have been tied. This is what it should have been. I'm just telling you this is what it should have been.
Why should it have been this?
Because I gave out locks yesterday, and not all of them are for naught now. Because I was
bullied. So now do we have the real graphic?
We do, yeah. Go ahead. That's it right there.
Why isn't my name on the top if I won?
Because you're it's just how it's listed, AJ.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's all I need to know.
You're the home team. Hey, way to go.
You have to show up on pick day, AJ.
Send them in, bud.
You did send him in. You wrote him on a very nice piece of paper, and nobody can predict anything. How are you getting on a heater right now? Last few weeks, you're the one who just said nobody can predict anything. How do you know? What are you relying on? What are you thinking about? Are you just blindly guessing?
I'm not blindly guessing. I'm just going off of instincts. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, so Thursday night, have you gotten any inkling on what you're thinking about for Thursday night's matchup? Steelers-Vikings. Vikings stink. Heartbreak City. Steelers, are they all the way back? We had a moment of silence for them having a losing record for the first time in Mike Tomlin's tenure. Is this a matchup that you feel good about, AJ Hawk?
Man, this is a tough one, too, because you never really know what you're getting with the Vikings. But my very early thoughts, I like the Steelers here.
Probably no feeling, too.
Boost it. That's what we'll stick with. Do you want to change this, or you feel good right now?
I feel good.
All right, Steelers +3, Super Boost.
Here we go.
Let's go, AJ.
So what do we boost it to?
I don't know. Well, now comes an entire process of me emailing back and forth and all that stuff. But congrats on making a pick. That's not easy.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy. All you do is say one team.
No.
Way to go.
All right.
Way to say one team, AJ.
It'll probably be 3.5 too, right?
I mean, there's millions. Hey, millions of dollars on the line. It probably will be 3.5 because they want to avoid any ties. So probably add a hook, which would be good. They'll ask you 2.5 or 3.5 probably coming back.
Oh, man. So what do you – I mean, you would want 3.5, right?
Well, this is your bet, not mine.
No, I would take 2.5.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I want good odds.
Jesus.
Go for 4, AJ.
Go for the money line.
I think the Steelers are going to win the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Boost the money line.
Are we boosting money line?
I don't care about points.
Get money line plus 500.
All right, let's boost. You want to boost Steelers money line?
Whatever. Whatever that.
Okay, thanks for the confidence, AJ.
The points don't matter. I think the Steelers are going to win.
Okay, so this is good news because this comes on a day where some Ohio senator has come out and said there has been an agreement on sports gambling for the state of Ohio. It's getting sent over to the House or something like that, and within the next couple of weeks there should be an agreement. We have a guy who's about to get hotter than anybody has ever become in a super boost that lives in Ohio, is from Ohio, is the home plate face of Ohio. This guy guy. Let's go, AJ. Here we go.
I know we talked about potentially banning a certain member of the group here from betting on the future Super Boost. In particular, I would like to push that motion to the floor for this particular Super Boost. It doesn't matter about the rest. This one, though, Foxy should not be allowed to bet on.
AJ, is there any way that you could potentially see that Foxy is toxic to not only bets and boosts, but also the Pittsburgh Steelers? And this is all of those things coming into one, or are you okay with him gambling on whatever? You want everybody to join your Super Boost?
I'm going to have to give this one some thought. So come back to me after we talk to Aaron.
Okay. All right. Well, circle back.
Foxy's a very nice guy. Foxy's a great human, good guy. I'm thinking about Pittsburgh and the city, and I would think that they want me to just dump Foxy for sure.
And this is, by the way, thank you for taking a high-level view at this thing, because we will put a pin in it, and we will circle back to this later to hear what you think on this. But that is real. I mean, once you zoom out a little bit, too many people zoomed in on the picture. You got to zoom out a little bit. I know the personal relationship between you and Foxy is a very strong one, and Foxy is an incredibly talented. Hey, Foxy.
Hey, Foxy.
Stop. Talented guy. But there's a lot of people that are affected by his words, they think. There's a lot of people that feel that Foxy's words and aura and feelings have ruined plenty of days in their lives. And I'm not just talking all the people that have bet alongside him throughout the entire years, because I've been on the Foxy train for a long time, and I've lost a lot of money on that train. The Fade Foxy train has made a lot of money, but as of late, Foxy's been 50-50. He hasn't been that bad, but you still got to think about those people in Pittsburgh that lives were ruined by this man when he became a Pittsburgh Steelers fan when they were 11-0, and then they lost literally every game after that. That is something to think about, AJ, especially when you're picking this Steelers team for this Super Boost.
Well, it's actually a compliment to Foxy, the fact that he has that much mental power, that much aura, that he can take a team that was destined to go on to greatness and be undefeated and just throw them over a cliff, and make them a bad team that they continue to be. So Foxy's a very powerful man.
Thank you.
So, I'm going to give this one some thought.
The guy from Pittsburgh died this year when the Lions tied the Steelers. We can't forget that.
He blamed the Detroit Lions for his death in the Pittsburgh Steelers. He couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of it. Pull the plug, dude.
Foxy is a black cloud of death.
Let's put a poll out. We'll put a poll out on Twitter right now. Put a poll out on Twitter for the next hour. Should Foxy be allowed to gamble alongside at official AJ Hawk Super Boost this Thursday with the Pittsburgh Steelers money line bet or something?
Here we go.
I respect it. I respect it.
Let the people decide.
People decide.
And then AJ, by the way, you can make your own decision. We will just tell you however many people vote in this
Just
thing.
gathering the info. It's like analytics. It's just one little piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, it's another tool. It's another
Accumulation of information.
Yeah, it is. Accumulation of information that you just so happen to drop on draft day. Schefter has not recovered from that. He is.
No. Well, and the wind
And
was
the
just
email
fucking
thing.
blowing him around last night.
He was getting bullied?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The wind, I mean,
He looks miserable.
his chair getting flipped up and that happened multiple times.
Shefty is still always going to yield the power of the pen, though, and everybody needs to understand that. There's been a lot of pieces questioning his credibility by other journalists. I don't think I've heard any insiders come after him, though. Insiders are like, hey, that's a game, baby. You got to do what you got to do. Shefty's at the top. He has missed on a few, though. Let's go to Josh in California. What's going on, Josh?
Good morning, boys. How you guys doing?
Hey, keep it moving, Josh. It is morning for that.
Hey, man, I just wanted to talk about is Tua going to be the guy for Miami, and are the Dolphins going to finish second in the East?
Okay, I don't know if they're going to finish second. We shall see. If the Buffalo Bills need to figure it out. I don't know how many teams are playing. At least the Patriots one more time.
Bucks.
The Bucks will be able to run. I mean,
Patriots in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
26th, day after Christmas. Santa Claus is showing up with another fucking storm probably up here in Foxborough.
That's right.
If I had to guess. But the Bills, they need to figure it out. Honestly, they do. And I don't know who they play other than the Patriots in these last 5 games or whatever, but it feels like there is an Achilles heel. There is a weakness to the Bills, and that's ground and pound football. Now, they could have won the game last night, and this conversation would be dead, but they did not, so it has to be talked about. They have to figure it out, but I do like the Tua's on a 5-game win streak, AJ.
Tua's, I mean, if you went back, 6-7 weeks, people would say they wanted Deshaun Watson in there. They said Tua has no chance. He's not the guy. We missed all of this. now I would assume there's a lot of hope that Tua is going to be the guy when you go and you look at the Dolphins' next 10 years.
Tua's completing like 85% of his passes.
Yeah.
I mean, and by saying that there's people 5-6 weeks ago saying we want Deshaun Watson, that was the fucking ownership was saying that.
It wasn't us.
The whole thing.
We've been on the Tua train the whole time.
I think we've been saying that he has not really got much of an opportunity in this entire thing.
I mean, there's been a few shots from some people in the room about Tua, but it wasn't us.
Who?
Well, he's completing 85% because he throws it 2 yards down.
Because we got a shitty old line, dude.
Oh, well, what about Roethlisberger? He's doing the same thing.
Yeah, but Ben had
5 in a row.
40 years old. He's 40 years old. He's not 22.
Oh, you're talking about when he was a kid, he was slinging that thing, which he was.
13 straight wins.
But offenses have changed.
Okay.
I mean, what if the Steelers get killed by the Vikings Thursday?
There's a...
Well, no, can't have that conversation.
Stop it. Stop it.
Fox is already trying to take it down. We don't need you to try to take it down.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant.
All right. So he just... Jesus.
This guy.
He just can't help himself.
What are you talking about? You can't live in your little bubble. You got to see what everybody's opinion, how they feel, and then you got to make your decision.
So you're talking about getting outside and experiencing a little
It's like
sunlight.
if you're scared, like let's say you love God and you love the Bible, well then you should test it and question it and always, and if it stands up, then your beliefs are even stronger.
Bingo. And if you believe in the Bible that much and your brain starts thinking of these questions, didn't God create your brain to create those questions? Shouldn't you be asking them? Aren't you who God created you to be? That's why every time they come after me for my language, I go, well, this is how fucking your guy made me or your woman made me. What do you want? I'm just trying to live in their name. All right? No, your free will has caused this. It's like, well, I think I came out. My first words were, fuck off. We're back next hour with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday in 6 minutes. Be a friend, tell a friend. Cheers. Is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Whenever you're working on golf, do you still have the same routine that you had whenever you were younger now, or is it much different? And how often do you just go down there and just hit Phil Mickelson flop shots all day? But anytime you turn one sideways and you flatten it, you're like, oh, watch this, I'm going to do like Phil Mickelson does. And then you just go out there. Normally you either blade it, hit it straight up in the air to the right, or you somehow get lucky and it goes and everybody's like, oh my God.
Incredible shot.
Phil Mickelson.
Wow.
That's what that has kind of become, and I remember you hit the one over your head that one time. That was a mind blower from me. Is the short game something you've always just been good at, or are you good at it because that's all you work like so much on it all the time?
When I was a kid, my dad had a little chipping area in our backyard and putting green, and so I would just go out there and hit balls because I couldn't really go to the golf course, and all I did was shots inside 30 yards. And it got very monotonous to hit the same shot over and over, so I'd go behind the avocado tree. I'd go back around the other trees and bushes and rough and so forth. And so I would get creative as a kid hitting those shots. And you kind of learn a couple of things. But what I would say, Pat, is that there's really only one way to chip effectively, because you're coming in with no coverage on the ball. You're coming in with so much loft that the leading edge is coming in first. So you have to have your weight forward. That's it. You have to have your weight forward and drive the club down into the ground. And most people, when they do that, their hands either come back or their weight comes back and the leading edge comes up and blades it. Now, you can kind of flip your hands a little bit if you have a good lie. Like if the ball's sitting in the first cut or it's sitting up, but that technique will not work all the time. And so that's why I prefer and believe that the technique where you have your weight forward, your hands forward, and you drive the club down to the ground will be consistent every time. So lay that club flat, move that ball off your left toe, get that ball off your front left, there you go, and open that face flat and just drive the club down into the ground. The ball will pop up like a gem.
I think I'm a scratch golfer.
Let's go!
I think it makes sense, by the way, that your childhood was spent within 30 yards of a green. My childhood was spent kicking a soccer ball off the side of a house. Worked out for me. It's worked out for you much better.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Hour 3 of this remarkable Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 7th, 2021, shall begin right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Shout out to you for watching at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. The man on my left, your right, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, and an old school Ohio guy, AJ Hawk. The boys here at Toxic Table, Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt, Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys is here and joining us from Wisconsin, a man who's the reigning, defending, undisputed MVP of the NFL, fresh out of a bye week. Was that son of a bitch in LA? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Hey, I saw you in LA, man. What was that? Did you get surgery? Did we get surgery on the foot? And was that you in LA in those photos?
I think if you look at the feet and maybe the car, you would know that was me.
What happened? What was it out there? Did anything pop up? Was it just precautionary because it's bye week, you have a little extra time, you want to learn about yourself, or how was that decision made?
I wanted to get a second opinion on my toe. We got an incredible doctor here in Wisconsin who many people across the country will send their issues to, foot, ankle, toe, whatever. But I think it's always important, regardless of what you're interested in, of getting multiple opinions on the subject, especially when it comes to medical things that you might not be an expert at. So I went out and saw
Dr. Joe
fantastic doctors out there, and had some good conversations, and thankful for that opportunity to gather some more information.
Were you able to make a stop in Austin maybe on the way back to get a third opinion? And if so, like, what did you learn about your toe throughout these trips?
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it to Austin just yet, but Dana White sure is doing pretty good.
Hey, when you saw that, was that like, are you guys in a group text? It's like, hey, Dr. Joe Rogan's patients, and did you guys just fucking put like all the dunks on? Did you do that? Is that what that was?
No, I definitely saw the clip.
Okay.
I know Dana just a little bit, but I'm happy for him and his wife and their kids and his 80-year-old mother-in-law. That's what gets lost, I think, too often into this, is that they're all doing well. So I'm happy they're all over COVID and doing really well. But no, I didn't go to Austin. I did get some great information about my foot. There was nothing really revolutionary. There was no mindset change or anything. The biggest key is rest. I wish that there was another one of these weeks so I could, get 14 to 21 great days without doing anything. But the toe is improving, and we'll see how it feels later in the week.
I learned how you could get 10 days, although I don't think we should go back through that whole process there. How do you feel, though? It's late in the season already, going into week 14. You guys coming out of a bye week in which you looked fantastic the week before. Is this just status quo, like the broken toe? Is this just understood that this is going to happen? And if you have to get rest, are you normally a guy that misses practice and it doesn't matter, or is this going to be a little bit of a routine breaker for you?
Well, it's kind of the habit now. It takes 21 days to form a habit, so we're going on that many days and not really doing a whole lot of practicing. Last year, I was very proud to say that I didn't miss one day of practice and wasn't on the injury report one time. I mean, that's kind of a rarity, I think, for anybody that's played quarterback as long as I have. And really, just about any position, there's going to be something that's going to put you on the list one way or another, and you might miss practice here and there as precaution or because you're dinged up or banged up. But last year was amazing. I mean, I felt incredible. Obviously, that's not the case this year. Missing obviously a number of practices now. I'm not going to disparage practice and say it's not important. I think it is important. I think there's things to be talked out and figured out during the week by practicing and taking those reps. At the same time, I'm old enough. I've been in this league long enough. I've played enough games where I can still go out and perform at a really high level without practicing.
You mentioned if you got surgery, your toe would be immobilized. Would that be for how long?
For the rest of the season.
Well,
So
they just
Be
put
like
a
a little
pin
baby
in?
cast on it?
Yeah,
They put a pin in to prevent any further displacement of the fracture. So that would immobilize my toe. That's that's not option number 1 or 2, I don't think. But if things were to progress or get much worse, then that would be something to avoid any further damage.
So we're not ruling out that this could potentially happen throughout the rest of the season still. And you said last week that you could get the surgery on a Monday and still play on a Sunday. Has that all that information been confirmed? Is that the mindset going forward with LaFleur and everybody?
I mean, LaFleur's not a doctor, but he is a close party to the situation, and I think any decision that's made would be one that allows me to play. I'm not going to miss any games. I've obviously played with much bigger injuries, different parts of my body, and this, although it's a small pinky toe, it's definitely painful and creates some issues, but I'm not going to miss any games because of it. To me, I just didn't think it made sense, and neither did Dr. Bob Anderson, to do surgery right after a game. So we wanted to give it a week to see how I felt, and it's definitely feeling better. And we're hopeful that we can get to the end of this week and be feeling really good and maybe kind of get on the other side of this thing.
Okay, and the murmur you heard there is Zito, who's a Bears fan, who seems to care about you a lot more now. So he's taking another week off.
Come
yeah,
on.
That's what he's thinking as a Bears fan. And we'll get to Sunday night. We'll get to Sunday Night Football, which in Lambeau with the Bears is going to be awesome, especially coming off of you telling them that you are their landlord and all that shit. But we'll talk about that at some point. During the bye week there, I know a lot of conversation around your toe. Is there a real self-scout? Like, was there anything that, because I don't think you were able to travel unless the NFL allowed you to LA. Is there full self-scout? And do teams really change in the bye week, especially this late in the season? Is that something that actually happens?
I mean, I don't know. I think some of that's overblown, probably. I think that there's definitely some self-scout that goes on. A lot of times just kind of a reinforcement of what you already know. I think there's enough self-scout going on, on Mondays and Tuesdays by the coaches as they look back through the previous game and the previous games to think about what's been working, what hasn't worked, what they've run over the last 4 or 5 games. So I think there's enough of that goes on. There might be 1 or 2 things that come out of a bye week that you might implement, but there's not a whole lot of change. You are who you are. You want to do the things you do better, put a different face on them from time to time. Obviously, there's time schematically to come up with new schemes and to, I think for most of this league, watch the other games and try and steal plays from them, plays that worked. So that's kind of, I'm sure there's some of that. But the most important thing, I think, not just for the players, for the coaches, was to get away from it. And, I had some fun FaceTimes with some of the coaches, so I know that they were able to get away and not be all ball all the time. And I think that's important for not just them, but for the players as well, who got to go away and spend some time away from ball.
Hey, my dad, Pistol, actually sent me a nice article in The Athletic on your O-line coach and talked about how he's a big reason for your success. Can you talk about him and some of the rest of the guys on that staff?
Yeah, big shout out to Pistol and Judes for sure. Come on up, Judes.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
That was good.
Good times.
Jude's is awesome, though.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Pistol and Jude's fucking get going. Oh.
Have you guys been around them yet? Or you? No.
I've been around a Pistol at that one cult thing we went to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he came to our event this year.
I know he came to the event. Yeah, he wasn't wearing a mask or anything like the last time somebody showed up there. But Steno, remember a couple years ago, eyes wide shut.
Gotcha.
What? I didn't know that's where I was headed. That's the shit you got going on. We'll move. That's not this conversation.
He's not talking about me. He's not talking about me.
Big culture in Dublin there. Yeah. Big culture. But,
Uncle.
I think we're talking about Adam Stenovich, a.k.a. Steve Stenovich. I call him Steve because we do these competitions from time to time in team meetings, and one of them was get to know your coaches. So they had an offensive player and a defensive player up there. They're asking them, you got to name the coach of, first name and last name and what position that he coaches. And I think it was Jamal Williams was like, oh, that's Steno. What's his first name? Steve. It's not Steve, it's Adam. And I actually played with him for a brief time years and years ago when we were coming out of college. But I think he's done a great job. I think Steno's a really interesting, creative person. He brings some really good schemes to the table every single week. I like his steady hand. He keeps the guys accountable and isn't afraid to raise his voice and get on those guys. But he also creates a real good environment. The O-line room has always got to be the best, loosest room in the whole place. Now it helps with David Bakhtiari because I don't think he's been serious for a day since Josh Sitton and TJ Lang left the facility. He kind of picked up where they left off, and he thinks he's the class clown of everything, and he doesn't realize most people are just laughing at him.
No. As long as they're laughing, who cares?
Yeah. But Steno's done a great job of taking care of those boys and getting those guys ready to play, especially with the injuries that we've had up front, Josh Myers and Elton Jenkins and obviously Dave. And then, Luke Butkus is his right-hand man. Yeah, great name. Yeah, from the Butkus lineage. Obviously, shot at. But, yeah, man, he does a great job. Just a little strange. The dude never wears underwear.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
And he wears his pants up past his belly button. So.
Oh, so you see. Yeah. Always interesting the decisions that people make, with...
Yeah, interesting. AJ made some interesting decisions over the years too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he did. He's the most toxic human I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he just brought up an Eyes Wide Shut party in the middle of this conversation, which, is something we will have to pivot past somehow. I don't know how. I have more questions about that because I assume you two, in the high society life that you're living in, there's a lot of weird shit you two have probably been invited to and have gone to, but we don't have enough time today. Okay, this is sports. No, the other way. Yeah, that way. Yeah. That dude. Yeah, I hear about it. Yeah, all the events he goes to. But let's talk a little sports here. Bakhtiari, you just mentioned him there being a class clown. Have you talked to him during the break? How is he? Is he coming back? I thought he was coming back. Then there was a surgery. You seem to give us an update every week, which I think all Packers fans are very thankful for. He's an incredible player that you guys have not had, and you have had a lot of success thus far.
Yeah, we've had a lot of starters miss games, him being one of them. I've talked at length about his very empty promise to come back week 1 if I were to come back and play for the Packers this year. That was his promise to me in the offseason.
Jumping on a waterfall.
Have you seen White Christmas? It's a great holiday movie, right? It's Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. You've probably never seen it. It's filmed in one of the first color movies, right? And it's about snow. AJ, you idiot.
Snow.
Thank you for clarifying.
I didn't know if it was cocaine. I didn't know if it was snow. I didn't know if it was people.
In the movie, Danny Kaye saves Bing Crosby from these bricks. They're fighting in the Second World War. These bricks are about to fall on him. Bing Crosby doesn't know what's going on. Danny Kaye saves him, right? And then he uses that one incident over and over and over to justify, him getting Bing to do things for him, right? Let's be a duo singing group. I don't think so. And then he holds onto his arm because he hurt his arm during that. Okay, fine. Hey, I want you to meet these two ladies I like. No, I'm not going to. Are you sure? I don't know. That's how Dave is this year with the golf carts. Every time I, say something or try and tease him or suggest something he doesn't like, he always brings up, you still driving the golf cart? Oh, you are, huh? Must be nice. And just like Bing Crosby, I usually give in to his idiotic demands, but no more. This is it.
Yeah, well, is he going to play or not? Do we have him coming back? Is the golf cart giver coming back or not?
I don't think he's coming back this week.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know.
Okay, so that's very open-ended. We'll ask you next week. Can't wait to hear that answer. Can I ask you about what happened last night in Buffalo? And I know Lambeau, frozen tundra, there's a lot of terrible games, but 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The Patriots decide, hey, we're just going to run the rock. Mac Jones is only going to throw it 3 times. Josh Allen threw it 30 times. He was 15 of 30. Terrible day. I don't think anybody was expecting any of the quarterbacks to have success. This morning, a narrative has been made that the Patriots don't need Mac Jones. They can win without him. Is that not just absurd in the world that we live in, that they can find something like that, especially with the 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts? And have you ever played in anything like that?
Well, Pat, I don't want you to be a little hypocritical. You do have a segment on your show called Overreaction Monday, don't you?
Well, it's a whole day. Yeah, it's not just a segment. Yeah.
Okay.
We got lazy.
Well, that's what they're going to do. It was Overreaction Tuesday, obviously today. I think Max had a great season. I just think that their thinking was, if we have an advantage running the football, then let's keep running the football. His first pass, as you saw, the wind looked like it was blowing from looked like Buffalo's sideline pretty hard towards New England sideline, and Jonnu made that amazing kind of catch there, and then they ran some one screen pass, I believe, and one other pass. It's all about the winds, right? I played in 2007. I watched from the sidelines, thankfully, because I was absolutely frozen in my uniform. But we played Chicago Bears, and this is they were terrible that year, and we were really good, but we lost twice. We were 13-3 and lost twice to the Bears that year, 2007. One of them was late in the season, and it was like 30. AJ remembers this. It was like 30-mile-an-hour winds, gusting to 55 miles an hour, and it was like minus 30. And I tell a story. One of the most amazing passes I ever saw was Farby was throwing a check down at Tony Fisher on the right flat, and he threw a ball that went up and over Tony's head. I mean, it would have been a ball that, it's a common, 1 foot in front of the numbers ball to the halfback. It goes over Tony's head, and Peanut Tillman's on the other side. And it's a sure interception. And it's like a Phil Negro, the greatest knuckleball of all time. I don't think Peanut even came close to touching the ball. And it a couple yards from. That's how bad the wind was blowing all over the place. We couldn't get a punt off, and they blocked the punt, and it was a wild game. They obviously handled the cold that day a little bit better than we did, but it'd be like one of those things where the wind was blowing from our sideline to their sideline. Every time, like third down and fourth down, like punt, guys are throwing off their jackets. All these jackets are going on the field, 20 yards from the field. And, you got Red Batty scrambling out there trying to pick up all the jackets and everything. And it was, that was a rough game. We still tried to throw it. They tried to throw it a little bit, but that came down to, like, special teams. And as last night it did as well. If the Buffalo kicker, and look, I'm not saying that's an easy kick, but if he makes that kick, then they only got to get a field goal there on that last drive. But, I mean, that was I enjoy watching the Manning cast. Those guys do a really good job. They're pretty damn hilarious, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Letterman stinks, but everybody else was great. And that's a shame because I loved Letterman for a long time until he said he's got to ban the punt. And it's funny you mentioned, so to hell with him, because naturally I have to feel that way, even though he was good at what he did for a long time, entrepreneur, trailblazer. Fuck off, Dave. But anyways, Keep Talib was amazing. Joe Buck was wide open, even, alluded to a future divorce he might have. I mean, I agree. I enjoyed it a lot, especially with Peyton, Eli, the way they talk. I love the Monday Night ManningCast. I'm happy you do as well. I was thinking about Tyler Big Ball Bass going out there to kick that ball. The mental demons had to be there was no way he had any belief he was going to make it. Now, he could have. Nick Folk, who made a kick earlier, I assume the mental demons were tough there as well. Does that happen for a quarterback? Do you have to just fight those? Like when it gets, some things happen or there's a little bit of adversity maybe. Is there any demons that potentially get in there and you just have to battle against quickly?
I'm not really like that. I mean, because I think in order for him to make that kick, he had to start outside the upright.
Yeah.
And that's just mentally, that's really tough. I mean, I think there's times where you battle the uncertainty of whether guys are blitzing or not, or whether throws are high percentage or not, and you have a split second to figure that thing out. There are things when the wind really gets gusting in Lambeau, you have to throw certain balls more inside or outside than you'd normally like to, but it comes down to a guessing game, and you're trying to, just put the ball in a good spot. I was impressed by Josh last night. I thought, he had a ball to Stephon there. I just don't think Stephon realized where the ball was. It could have been a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much that ball was moving. I mean, he must have thrown that ball probably, I would guess, 5 to 10 yards inside, even with a cutting through the wind spiral. But, I mean, the ball hit Stephon in the shoulder, It was that was a pretty amazing throw we had last night.
Can you remember a game, whatever, I guess college or the NFL, where you had your least amount of passing attempts? And would you be okay if you only threw the ball 3 times in a game?
Well, I don't think that would be necessary, we played in a lot of inclement weather. We played in pouring down rain. We played in dumping snow. We played in some really bad wind games. And there's little adjustments to the plan that you can make, and you realize what throws are your higher percentage throws. I still think you can run screen passes, you can run solutions, you can run keepers. I think you have to take some shots down the field, regardless of how bad the wind is. You have to find a way to keep them honest, even if you're throwing an incompletion. Because kind of like Ebe said last night on the telecast about jumping routes and wanting safety help, they tried to throw a couple 9 stops, a couple go stops last night, and the corner just sitting on it because they said you're not going to throw the ball past 20 yards down the field. I think in that situation you probably have to. Now, Patriots had, I think, 48 plays, and they ran at 45 of them. They had a lot of success. They ran a toss sweep on 3rd and 5, and the guy went 65, 70 for a touchdown. So there wasn't a whole lot they needed to change at all. But I do think that there's still a way to get some high percentage attempts in inclement weather, and we've been able to do that. I don't know about my least amount of throws ever. I would say I'd probably go back to high school, to be honest. I think in the NFL, in games that I finished, I don't know that I've thrown under, my first start ever, I think I threw it 19 times, maybe. No, I think I did it 22 times, but probably not too many.
100 years ago.
Below 20. Probably not too many below 20 if I finish the game, or maybe any.
That's a broken toe, full COVID diagnosis from Dr. Joe Rogan in about 200 games ago. And you're like, I think I threw it 22 times, actually. I mean, it's absurd. Let's talk about, you talk about the Monday Night ManningCast. There was a couple earlier games where it's like 3rd and 1. And I think Peyton was like, oh, this is when you take the deep shot because nobody thinks that you're going to be doing the deep shot. If you're not running for it, this is when you take advantage of that thing. And I think watching you play, there's going to be a couple times where you just almost say, fuck it, and throw it to either MVS or Devontae. That is something you think like, hey, we have to keep them honest with deep shots. And you said even if it's an incompletion. Is there sometimes you throw it deep where it's like, this is just setting up for later. We have to keep this person honest, even though you know it's not going to be a completion?
Or maybe hoping for a PI call?
PI, yeah, maybe.
Like, I don't think you ever throw a ball thinking it's going to be an incompletion unless you got 3 seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter and you're, throwing the ball away on 4th down to end the game. There's always that hope that you guys are going to come down with it. I just think that, Mike and I, when we used to talk about games, back when, a decade ago or so, we always talked about wanting to take one deep shot every quarter. Whether that was a go route or a post or a hard play action corner post or something. We wanted to make sure the defense respected the speed we had on the field and our willingness to take shots down the field. So I think it's always important to at least dial up those plays. It doesn't mean you got to throw them every time, but I don't think there's really any balls, unless I'm throwing the ball away, that I think this one's not going to be caught.
So the fuck it thing isn't real. Like everything has at least a little bit of hey, there is hope that this ball could be caught. Even if it's double coverage with Devontae, I'll be able to put it in a certain spot that somehow Devontae's hands will reach up and grab it. There's never like a maybe type throw.
No, there definitely are some maybes, but maybe still has a percentage attached to it. I don't know what you and the coach would put on that maybe percentage, but there's definitely a percentage attached to it. And different players who are better at 50-50 balls, that maybe is a higher percentage than other guys. James Jones was one of the best contested catch guys that I've ever thrown to. And there were a lot of times, where I might not throw that ball to certain guys, but if JJ's out there, I would take a shot because I felt really confident that maybe a 20-80 ball, maybe is more like a 40-60 for him. It's almost twice as likely that JJ's going to come down with it in a contested catch situation. So it just depends on the guy, whoever's running the route and the situation, and then the defender as well.
Say it with me, AJ. Situations are?
Situational, I guess.
Nailed it. It is. Every single situation, it is situational.
Would you go on the ManningCast? Would you do it, or are you worried about the curse?
Is it still going? Has there been other people who have been on it who haven't
not since Josh Allen, I believe, current player.
Draymond Green played, and everyone
they won
only
the
applies
next
to
night.
football, though.
Oh, the curse only is a
There
football
hasn't been an
curse?
active player in a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So Peyton believes in it too then. Peyton's like, I'm not ruining anybody else's career.
They talked about it.
So maybe
I think there's conversation about going on there in January.
Hey, those are big games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hope somebody else eats the curse. Let's hope somebody else gobbles that thing up. Go ahead, Ty.
Aaron, hope you enjoyed the bye week. Did you do anything fun for the birthday? You get any good gifts? Has this cheapskate AJ sent you anything? Did Bakhtiari just kind of like rewrap your golf cart and give it to you? How was the birthday week?
Hey, thanks, Ty. Good to see you, man. I had a great birthday week. A lot of great messages from people all over the country, old friends, newer friends. When it comes to gifts from the Hawk family, AJ is blessed with a really amazing wife, and I think she probably takes care of not just feeding his ass, only eggs and chicken while making other meals for the other, 5 members of the family, but she is the one that usually, I'm sure, comes up with the great gifts ideas. I got some great gifts from the Hawks over the years, so big thanks to especially Laura. AJ sometimes writes his name on the card, but AJ is actually, I will give him this credit, he's a very good letter writer. So every time that he either comes to the house or we, have an event together, do Tahoe or some other event, he always writes me some really special notes, often inappropriate stuff in there, but I do I do enjoy keeping those for a laugh, in my backpack or wallet. So that's kind of his contribution to the gift thing. Bakhtiari, I still haven't seen any present from him, but his sweet bride to be is a much better gift giver. The Aston Martin excluded.
Well, yeah. Well, happy birthday from all of us, AJ. I haven't seen a single handwriting other than his pitch.
We stayed at his house. Yeah, for that event.
Well, when he comes in here, he just knocks shit all over your desk. That's kind of like his calling card for it.
Pisses in our bathroom.
All over the floor. Yeah.
Happy birthday to me, I guess. Thanks, AJ.
Not on the floor. Never on the floor. The problem with Aaron, though, the dude has everything. So if you got the dude a $4 million RV that had like everything you could ever think of, you would go there 6 years later and be parked in the exact same spot that you left. You'd be like, thanks, man. That's really cool. And there's still like plastic wrap on the outside.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was a good gesture. It was a great
Exactly,
gesture. It was a great gesture.
Matters.
Do you spend on anything? What, traveling is what you spend all your money? Do you like traveling, right? You like traveling the world. I don't know if that's a gift that's possible to be gave, right?
Yeah, and houses are expensive too.
Oh, that Malibu one. Ooh. Oh, I've seen that. Hey, I took a tour on that thing on TMZ. Yeah. I went through that entire thing. It is.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Thanks, Pat. It's cool.
It's really nice. I've seen that entire thing. There's one room, there's studio with the.
Perfect. It's changed a lot since that tour, I'm sure.
Oh, you built the studio in there. That's a smart idea. What's your favorite place you ever traveled to?
Oh, it's tough to say. New Zealand was fun. I went to Hobbiton in New Zealand. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I had to do Hobbiton.
Of course.
That was a lot of fun. I actually met up with the Bakhtiaris when I was over there at the same time, so that was a lot of fun.
New Zealand.
Dalai Lama? Didn't you hang out with the Dalai Lama?
You hung out with the Dalai Lama?
Went to India and Africa. That was, really, really fun trip. Those are good times. Bora Bora, it's a good spot. Pat, I'm sure you've taken your lovely wife there before.
We were supposed to go like 4 times, and then COVID came, and then they came again, and then it was like, all right, I ain't fucking flying to Fiji, I guess. You know what I mean? But we'll be sometime.
It's not Fiji, though. Were you talking about Bali? You talking about Bali?
I don't know. Do I know it's a plane to a plane to a boat to a sky to a plane to an island? Yeah, I know it's a long, long way. I can't wait to get there. The pictures look fantastic.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see the pictures.
Okay, cool. Well, have an incredible week. Good luck against Chicago. And it is time for something that we have been, clamoring about for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, there was a couple books that were made available in this one particular book club that were 700 to 800 pages long. And the man who founded the book club said, let's take a bye week so everybody can catch up. Connor caught up on the last 2. It was unbelievable feat. He put together 1,100 pages in 3 days. Mm-hmm. He caught up with everything. And although this book club started out as something that maybe nobody would take serious, here we are now, ladies and gentlemen, for book 13 of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. Drum roll, please. If you remember all the way back, The Alchemist. It was about the universe. We are the universe. Then all the other books that happened after that, before now, that were absolutely amazing. The Power of Now, The Art of War, Sun Tzu, rest in peace, but your words are still ringing true today. The Daily Stoic Outliers, Fingerprints of the Gods, a 900-page expose on Egypt and the pyramids. Last but not least, the ultimate oral history of The Office that stands at a staggering 1,200 pages. It would be quicker to watch the entire Office than to read the ultimate oral history of The Office, but we do it because we love the book club so much. Book 13 is...
The answer is.
Oh yeah. Okay. We like this one.
Hey, this one's very meaningful to me. I was obviously super fortunate to be able to host Jeopardy for a couple of weeks, and I was on the show in Celebrity Jeopardy in 2015. Got to meet Alex, and always, enjoyed that opportunity to meet him, to follow in his footsteps. But Alex was such an important part of so many people's lives. You felt like family because, for me in Wisconsin, from 6 to 6:30 on Channel 11 was Jeopardy. And so when somebody's part of your life every single day for so many years, you feel this affinity to them, a closeness. And I actually got this book when I when I hosted, they gave me this book, and I read it before my shows went off, and it was really special. And it's an easy read. It's short,
I like that.
Like 2 and 3 page chapters. It's just stories of his life and fun little anecdotes about the young man that he was growing up in Canada and working his way up, and all the different game shows he hosted before he got an opportunity to work on Jeopardy. And anyone that loves Jeopardy and that that was an important nostalgic part of their life, you're going to love this book. The answer is it's an autobiography by Alex Trebek. He started writing it when he was first diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So there's different times throughout the book where he talks about his his own mortality and his impending end. And very touching, heartfelt book, and one that I actually I grabbed it when I was at the house before I went to my doctor stuff, and I was excited to come back and share with the book club this week. So thanks again, boys, and big thanks to Alex for being such a big part of so many of our lives.
Thank you, Alex. Love Alex Trebek. Love the fact that this book is now a part of the book club. The only book club I've ever been a part of now has something awesome from the Jeopardy man, who once hosted Wheel of Fortune before Pat Sajak. Doesn't get talked about a lot. Then he ended up being the Jeopardy OG. Now it is time for our debut song, I guess. Coming out of bye week, we did get a chance to work together on this one out the Malibu House. So go ahead and kick it off.
We were working on the 30-second Final Jeopardy song from Jeopardy, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
You pissed you didn't get that gig?
Pat, why don't you start?
Hey, real quick, are you pissed you didn't get that gig?
Oh, no, man.
Yes.
Oh, you are? Like, it wouldn't have worked, right? Would it have worked? Is that why they didn't go with it, you think?
They could have made it work.
I don't think it would have worked based on scheduling the way they want to schedule the show. I'm, obviously still wanted to play, and you never know what happens in this life. Things can come back around. Things might never come back around. I might go back on Celebrity Jeopardy one day.
No.
You never know.
Oh, you're going to be hosting Celebrity Jeopardy. Did we just break a little news right there?
No, I want to go back on as a contestant. I go against Cheech Marin,
Oh,
and Sun Tzu. Be a good match.
Hey, rest in peace, Sun Tzu. Oh! Hey, he is pissed, huh? You knew that. You as soon as you brought it up, he.
I honestly hadn't thought about Jeopardy in so long. Is it who's the host?
It's that lady.
Mayim Balik or
she's
whatever.
good.
Oh, okay. Punky Brewster.
What?
Is that Punky Brewster?
I don't know if that's the case.
From a show way back in the day?
I don't know who that is.
I don't think so.
What's
She was
your
on
deal?
Big Bang Theory. I know that.
I don't know if it might be Ken too.
Ken Jennings?
Yeah, I watched.
There's multiple.
Well, it was the lady from Big Bang Theory for a long time, and she was good. She was very good after the.
After Mike Richards bowed out.
Yeah.
He was also in Blossom on NBC.
All right, good show, that Blossom show. When's it on, Nick? When's Blossom on? Just so we know.
Oh, that ended years ago. It was an early '90s show with Joey Lawrence. Whoa.
Oh, moment of silence. Oh, well, he was on that
4 cents.
4 cents. All right, but I think it's that lady, and then Ken did a couple. I don't know if they've. Oh, maybe they're waiting on. Is Aaron going to retire and become Jeopardy? That's a long time from now, though. He's still got a whole, another contract to play, right? I mean,
wow, they can wait.
Is that what the inside information is, AJ? He told Jeopardy they could wait.
I don't know. I don't. What inside information?
Well, you're best friends with the fucking guy. You write him handwritten letters. You don't write me shit.
I don't watch
Let's
Jeopardy,
get to a
bro.
break. We talk every day. Almost every day.
Multiple hours every day.
Multiple hours every day. I come to
No,
your
that's a weird. The writing thing's a weird deal. It was when birthday gifts years ago when my wife gets a card. Hey, sign the card. So of course, naturally, I'm going to take some time and explore the space and write some good stuff on it. So then he's requested them since then, and it fires my brain up. Like I enjoy making up stories and writing things that are heartfelt yet slide some things in there.
Hey, anytime you want to go AJ Hancock Hawk with me or anybody here, go ahead and feel free to let that feather fly away, pal. Do what you got to do. We'll be back in 4 minutes. Interesting hearing him talking about the pass game from last night, about how I don't think it's really necessary, to not throw the ball or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? What does that even mean? People will talk about it. What did he say? Him talking to that foot doctor, big news, Dr. Bob. All right, we got Dr. Joe and we got Dr. Bob. With
Dr. Bob's in Green Bay. Bob Anderson's in Green Bay now.
Oh, I thought Dr. Bob was potentially in L.A.
No, Dr. Bob used to be down in North Carolina. I actually had surgery right when I left the Packers from Dr. Bob in North Carolina, and then he moved back to Wisconsin, I guess. That's where he is. So I don't know who he saw out in L.A.
Well, shout out to Dr. Bob and shout out to everybody. Let's react to that on the other side, answer some more phone calls, and wrap up this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 7th. Shout out to Alex Trebek. The answer is the next book of the Aaron Rodgers book club. See you in for it.
It can be done. I mean, we signed Josh Freeman and Ryan Lindley, brought them in for a Tuesday workout, signed them. They were in the meeting room on Wednesday. You remember, Pat, I told the whole team, I said, hey, just mind your own business. Everybody do your frickin' job. Don't watch one snap of either of these guys. Do not watch any of fucking practice. Hold on. No judgment. Trust our coaches. Trust our offensive staff. They'll get these two guys ready to go. And sure enough, we went and beat the Titans, to finish the season 8-8. It was one of the most memorable wins we had, because of how we did it.
I think so. And Josh Freeman and Ryan Lindley, obviously incredible people, and they came in. And you did say in your Tuesday presser, I've told this story before, where we'll have a package for Pat McAfee. And I was like, wait a fucking minute, it's the last game of the season. Okay, we've lost 10 quarterbacks. There's no way I'm dying right now out there. But that was obviously a joke, obviously. But you bring in Freeman and Lindley, you making the proclamation to the team before they came in. Hey, do not watch, all right? Just don't judge. No judgment. No judgment. Do not watch. And then me and Vinatieri, obviously, immediately upon hearing that, we're like, all right, so we got to go fucking watch this guy. And it was bad. That first day of practice was bad. I mean, it was bad. Thursday, still banging the drum here. Hey, let's not judge. Let's just keep putting in the work. Let's just keep going. It started looking a little bit better. None of us could have expected getting that win on Sunday. You're right. That is a very memorable game, and it's because of the adverse conditions that we're under,
Yeah, no doubt about it. And if you guys could have been at the workout on Tuesday, you would have said, no friggin' way do you sign these two guys. Because you remember Josh Freeman had a cannon, right? Yeah. So you know how Frog and T and those guys had set up at the different areas? Like if you're throwing, quick game, you got a quick out or a slant, and then you go, 5-step drop, 7-step drop. He didn't complete one pass. He almost threw the football. He tore up their hands, number one. Number two, the balls were bouncing off the indoor like BBs off a tin can. Almost threw a football through the wall of the indoor facility. And then we go, okay, that's good, Josh. Ryan, you're up. So then we get Ryan in there, right? Ryan's accurate as shit, but he's got zero velocity on the ball, right? It's taking forever. And I'm asking T and Frog, because they know, our two equipment guys, what do you think? He goes, man, that's an easy ball to catch. I mean, it's barely coming in here, Coach. I don't know if he's going to have to anticipate his throws really well. So I'm thinking, holy shit. And I'm like, is there anybody? That's it. Coney Island Josh Freeman was playing for the Coney Island Thrashers at the time, serving, soft serve ice cream at halftime for $250 a game. And Ryan Lindley, he was driving Uber. He was hanging out in New York City. He was driving Uber at the time. His girlfriend was training for the Olympics, and he was in New York City driving Uber. Those great guys.
Uber. Hey, listen, a lot of ricochet shots.
Unbelievable.
Hey, these guys, unbelievable. Hey, the gabagool on these guys, Coach. Honestly, they were very good, but they to walk into any Howl at the Moon and go, wish you was dead from that ledge, my friend.
Jumper.
We could cut ties with all the lies that we've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. That's what I'm going to do at Howl at the Moon. Just slide on the knees with the guitar.
Howl at the Moon is just pianos usually.
No. You wouldn't get it.
SeatGeek has come up clutch for us all season long as we get back out there. Maybe the best thing they've done is make all football tickets 15% off to all users. Wow. This is by far the best promo that they've ever done, and it is still going. No code needed. Just click the link in the description at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. This video, and 15% off will be auto-applied to your account. Doesn't matter if you've purchased on SeatGeek before.
It's a great deal.
There's only a few football games left. Go ahead and get in there now. Great holiday gifts, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, go to a football game.
That's right.
Have fun. For 15% off at SeatGeek. SeatGeek scans every ticket on the internet to make sure you're getting a good deal on the best tickets available, and you never get catfish. Shout out to SeatGeek, the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. Welcome back to the show. AJ Hawk, how you doing? It has been officially announced, I guess, that Ben Roethlisberger, this is his last season. Is that the text message that I...
from me?
Yeah.
Well, the reports, I was going to say, hey, Aaron, I just want to let you know that Ben Roethlisberger has said that it's basically his last season, like, just so you know.
Oh, you wanted to start up the Pittsburgh stuff.
There's going to be a vacancy probably next year for the Steelers quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was potential breaking news that Ben Roethlisberger came out and said, I am hanging it up after this year. I see what everybody else sees, although I'm hot again. Don't worry about it. I'm going to keep it moving. Let's hit some storylines we have not talked about at all yet. Ohio State Senator is passing sports gambling. We mentioned it earlier. AJ, this is huge news, dude. It is going to there's the Senate and then there's the House. Okay, there are two different parties. We have an agreement on sports gambling. State Senator Kirk Schering, chairman of the Select Committee on Gaming, told News Talk 1480 in Canton. Schering declined to offer the specifics of the deal, but said he hopes to announce the details later this week. I expect the conference committee to meet this week and for the conference report to be approved and for it to go to the House and the Senate floors this week, he said. Shout out to Gaming Today News, which gave us this information. Shout out to Senator Kirk Schering, who I don't know well. I have no idea which party he is in, but let's get some gambling in Ohio, AJ.
What do you say, Kirk?
Does this act like, if this could be voted on, like, soon, within a month or so, does it all of a sudden become legal right away? Like, how many more steps do we have?
So then there's finding out who gets a license and who doesn't get a license. Remember, in New York, it was a big time deal because they passed it. They're getting like 51% of the handle, I think, in taxes from all these sports books, which will still be an immense amount of money. In New York, we'll probably see grotesque funds that will make other states say, hey, let's do that. And hopefully sports gambling will continue to unveil in beautiful fashion across the country because it makes sports a lot better. It just makes games better. And there's obviously going to be people who abuse it and bet too much and lose too much and everything. Don't be that person, okay? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an additive to games. Let's make sure we do that. But Gonzo told it, rest in peace, Gonzo's political career.
Rest in peace, Gonzo.
Rest in peace, Gonzo's political career.
Good luck, Gonzo.
Football teammate of mine, football teammate of AJ's at two different spots. He was over there. He said us talking about it publicly put some pressure on them to okay something. So that's what we're doing right now for our friends in Ohio. Hey, let's go ahead and get this done. Indiana's doing it. It's awesome. Pennsylvania's doing it. It's awesome. Michigan's doing it. It's awesome. Ohio's right there in the middle of all of them, just like, what the fuck? Let's go ahead and get this thing going. You know what I mean, AJ? And I think you could potentially be the guy that maybe gives a motivational speech to this senator right here and sends him into those rooms to get this thing passed, AJ.
What do you say, AJ?
Let him know Hawk is the face of Ohio. Let him know.
I would just, okay, so this is just online sports betting that they're trying to pass, right?
I think it's just sports gaming in general. Do you guys have sports books over there?
There's a casino, I know, in Columbus.
Is there a sports book in that Cleveland casino we went to? Jax, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So you could have sports books inside casinos, and then you could use FanDuel as an online betting platform, right?
Maybe. I mean,
what are the downfalls? If we already have casinos here, what are the potential downfalls of adding sports gambling to that?
So the potential downfall is that somebody either doesn't like gambling because of the things that are potentially the narrative that is of the past of seedy gambling. Whenever you're doing it with somebody who's either offshore and you didn't get paid, or somebody down the road and you end up getting into a large debt. Those stories, though, are vastly different than the majority of people that are doing it for a good time and betting within their means, just like everybody should be doing because it is an additive, but also the amount of lobbying that has to happen for which companies get into Ohio. Like, we will hope and assume that FanDuel will be able to get in because we're the number one sports book in America. Mm-hmm. Congrats, FanDuel.
Hell yeah. Congrats. Good job, FanDuel.
I said we.
Yeah, but
currently, man.
And we're associated. They don't own us, though.
No. But
that's where
we associate with each other.
We associate with each other.
Yeah.
FanDuel's number one. Let's assume they'll be able to get in. They were able to get into New York. I think Florida. I think something's going on.
Florida's got some stuff going on.
Seminole, they shut down the whole thing. But Ohio coming in is huge. Not only for the people of Ohio and everything like that, but Also, so we can take more money from the FanDuel folks when AJ Hawk's Super Boost gets hot, which starts this Friday or this Thursday, where he says the Steelers will beat the Vikings outright in Minnesota. Let's boost that thing to the moon. Let's go, AJ Hawk. Let's go, Ohio. Let's go. Let's talk about some other stuff going on in and around the NFL. Joe Brady fired from the Carolina Panthers. That happened on Sunday out of nowhere. I thought Joe Brady was this hot upstart who's going to move his way up the coaching ladder in the NFL. But then you start thinking about the Carolina Panthers and you think about the owner who's the richest guy in the NFL, and he does not give a fuck if he pays a guy. He'll let him go. We need to win a Super Bowl now. The lack of production on the offense when Christian McCaffrey isn't playing probably led to this. Allegedly, behind the scenes, there are rumors and reports. This is me being a terrible journalist quoting one Twitter account that probably means absolutely nothing. Matt Rule, Joe Brady, maybe not the same type of humans, maybe not in the same type of universe. Who knows where Joe Brady ends up? Maybe Oklahoma. No, not Oklahoma, because they just hired Daboll. Maybe
Brent Venables.
Oregon. Maybe, maybe Oregon. Maybe Venables goes to Oklahoma. Maybe Joe Brady goes to Oregon, the new opening after Cristobal goes and kills Manny Diaz's career in Miami on the same exact day that they're recruiting for each other. But whatever the case, Joe Brady out at Carolina. I don't think any of us could have expected this. The young guy was a hot name in the streets of coaching.
Oh, absolutely. And you said there's rumors that he and Matt Rule might not be on the same page. Obviously, if he got fired mid-season and he was this young, like, hot shot guy that they're talking about becoming a head coach and like everybody wants him on their team, what happened? Like, have there been reports throughout the year with issues? Like, why did it happen right now, not after the season?
And also, this is 2 weeks into Cam Newton's?
Cam must have hated him.
Oh, you think Cam came in? This guy stinks, man.
Get him out.
This is nothing like what Belichick does, by the way. And Matt Rule's like, yeah, you're right. Get him out of here.
We talk about like the Adam Gase effect though on like Sam Darnold. Like, is it possible that like Sam Darnold just fucking stinks and he just tanked this guy's career before it even started in the NFL?
Whoa.
Coach killer.
So you're saying,
Sam might be saying that.
Sam Darnold's probably saying, I got Gase and then I got Joe Brady. This guy was a college guy, never been in the NFL. He has no idea. I'm supposed to come in here and save the day. This guy stinks.
But what was he? I mean, McCaffrey's played in like 3 games. Like, what was he supposed to do? Like,
well, that's the thing. Teddy Bridgewater got released because he didn't get to play with Christian McCaffrey. He's one of the best players on the team, eating up a large amount of the salary cap. He gets hurt again this year. So now Sam Darnold and Cam Newton don't have Christian McCaffrey on the field. I mean, they want to win now down there. And if they don't think you're a part of it, you can go on, get out. If you ain't making us better, you're making us worse. And I think you, Joe Brady, been making us worse for a long time. Get the fuck out of here. I wonder how they went about firing him. Matt Rule, I guess, called him into the office on Sunday on the bye week and said, hey, your services are no longer needed. Go ahead and get out. That's an interesting conversation. I wonder how Joe Brady took it.
And I wonder if Joe Brady had any idea it was coming. Like, what if he was completely caught off guard? Like, wait, I'm not here anymore? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, did he feel it coming? Like, was there writing on the wall, as they like to say?
What if Matt Rule said, give me your iPad and give me your fucking key fob? You can't even get back in the building, pal. All right, and with this security guard and take you out of here. You've done enough damage here. 6 quarterbacks. We already stink. Get out of here. Interesting, man. Is there ever going to be any continuity in Carolina? Will Carolina ever settle? And what happens if they have a team that could potentially go on a run, but they end up turning it around because it's not happening quick enough? That is all.
Does this go? Remember Teddy saying like they didn't work on 2-minute last year at all when he was there? Didn't he come out and say that?
That's tough. I mean,
didn't do situational football too much. Like maybe I'm sure that was part of it.
Maybe Tepper wants to win too bad.
Tepper is too hungry.
Yes.
He's too committed.
Uh-huh.
Too excited.
Take it easy.
But what happens?
So who's calling the plays right now?
Matt Rule. Actually, Tepper is. Tepper's making the calls.
Good for him.
How much fun would that be to be the play caller in the NFL?
Just look at what if he's like, hey, give me your play sheet, and he's just looking down. Okay, 3rd and medium, here we go, and he just reads it off, and then they win a game. Like, what are you talking? Why did I pay you guys all this money?
Yeah, that play sheet though is so long. Somebody had one last night that was just
huge,
massive,
huge. It was. Some of those are so. I don't think Tepper, and I mean I don't know how dialed in is. It seems like he's around a lot. I tried to look at one of those sheets one time. I couldn't find 3rd and short. It was like this subset package all the way down over. It's like a key. You need like a key to guide through that entire thing. It's so much. And last night they used 3 plays.
Yeah. MCDC has a massive
huge one.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, it's only getting bigger with these wins too. Need more plays.
Right.
Did you hear he told Jared Goff via Football Morning in America, I told him exactly that that's the throw we need, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the way to throw it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I remember I read this from old Pete King. Yeah. I don't know. Is he boys? He and Goff, they're cool now? They're all right?
Goff went sprinting directly to MCD.
Goff was looking for a lot of, like anyone really. He was so juiced. It was a fun moment. But yeah, then he was attracted, like naturally. There was like a magnet to
AJ just kind of said, I think it was kind of like a Tom Brady high five moment, but it was actually after a game winning throw. He was looking for anybody. You said
he wasn't avoiding coach, but he had a little chest bump with a player on the way to Dan Campbell.
So the Vikings called a timeout. Jared Goff went directly to Dan Campbell. They had a one-on-one combo, and then they get the touchdown, win the game. So I assumed there was some sort of.
Oh, so it's like Philly.
Exactly. I think there was something there.
Goff,
That's what it seemed like.
What if Goff made the call? Is MCDC going to let that be known publicly this early into his play calling duties?
Would he also say to Jared Goff, maybe like, "Hey, come over and
throw a touchdown, motherfucker. Let's go."
I like that he uses motherfucker in an interview and in real life. He seems like a motherfucker guy. You know what I mean?
The players like him, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. The video in the locker room was awesome.
It seemed like they were all very pumped for him.
Yeah, weren't they comparing like Matt Patricia's first win celebration to that one?
Yeah. Matt Patricia, I don't think he had.
But also very different personalities too when it comes to how they celebrate.
I don't know if Matt Patricia had the emotional fortitude that it takes to be a head coach and actually care as much about everybody. And that's not. By the way, I don't think I do either. I don't think that's something I have. I don't think it's something I have either. You say, all right, I don't care. As a head coach, you have to act like you care, I guess, about everything. You got to deal.
As a head coach, you got to deal with a bunch of garbage that you didn't have to deal with for 30 years before you became a head coach.
Matt Patricia's like, I'm just trying to tie Ticonderoga right here on this glass table. All right, can we please move along? Him down there at Radio Row is one of my favorite things.
Oh, the best. Yep. Forgot everything. Didn't have his wallet, his phone, his keys.
They almost not let him in.
Hold on. Zito just told me disregard this clock. Amazon Web Series is down. Is the clock down too?
I believe the clock is down. We have a different clock back here right now.
Oh my God!
What's going on, man?
Music on, man. I'll tell you, that's what we needed right when we needed it, motherfucker, man. All right, I promise the next show will be much better than ours, even though we won an award.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how pissed off everybody is that actually does good shows about that, but we are thankful. We're very, very thankful. AJ, anything to say to the actual radio show that's going to be happening after this one ends?
No, is my clock off too then?
What's your clock say?
2:55.
Oh, 10, 11, 12, 13.
14.
Keep going.
15.
Bro, that's what the clock is, though. That's why you're so unprofessional. Every single time this guy, you're kind of slapping the heart out right in the mouth right now. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with Coach Us Up Chuck Wednesday. It should be fantastic. A much better show than today, I promise. See ya. 30 seconds off?
What the hell's going on?
How did we lose
When
30
did it
seconds?
change?
Wait, Amazon's down?
Amazon Web Series is down, yeah. So, like, Grabio's down. I think
That's how they make their money is at AWS.
I think FanDuel is down. Oh.
Wow.
Wait, so like their servers are down?
Yeah, I think their whole entire internet's done.
Yeah, I just checked the feedback, too. We were correct on that one.
Hey, that a boy, Z.
Z.
So what happened? When did this happen? You think?
So this is a different clock as well. So like this is off by 10 or 30 seconds off here, and then 10 seconds off my computer.
You guys thought you were so fucking funny. Bill Gates jokes earlier. Look, three different clocks.
I wouldn't joke about Gates.
Amazon's website's working, so is FanDuel, so maybe it's back up.
How about
Grabio?
How about Grabio? Is Grabio up?
Check it out.
Grabio is the website that we use to rip clips from the show to put up on Twitter. So it's where Gumpy and Billy live during the show.
What's it called? Grabio?
Grabio, yeah.
Seems
It's a lot of marketing for them. We pay them a good amount of money, but they do take care of us. They do take care of us on the back. They're a great service. It's a great thing. But today it was Dahn. So Gumpy had to adapt and overcome.
Still done.
And he still done.
Okay.
He was just screen recording and posting them out, so quality's low. And I said, "Gumpy, way to fucking make this work, dude." And it's the internet. Who cares if it's a little bit lower quality? Ain't nobody expecting shit from us, although we're winning these trophies.
Hell yeah,
trophies.
Do you get a trophy?
Should.
Got to put it on the shelf of the igloo.
I need a walkie-talkie just to get a beverage. All right, let's go to a couple phone calls here. Let's go to Kyle in Humboldt County, California.
Oh!
I had some Cannabis CBD in earlier.
How was it?
Yeah, because my I don't know what's going on with my ankle and my knee. You know what I mean? I thought maybe the CBD would get in there. And I thought with the pouch, the size of the pouch, maybe I could get into it. It was pretty good. And I do feel better.
Nice.
It tasted pretty good, too. I don't remember which the flavor was. I popped it out of one of them things over there.
My knee's acting up again.
Quiet. Kyle, what's going on, pal?
Take care of that.
Wow. Fellas, Pat, A to the J. I'm calling from the hills of Humboldt County, California. You know, the coastal cowboy. Kelly Chaw Dogs. My question is, have you been to the Golden State and tried the Cali pouches? And a question from a Humboldt farmer out here, what strains do you want to see popping off in 2022? It's planting time for next year's crop.
Okay,
I just want to say thank you guys for the call.
Okay, Kyle, as a farmer over there, botanist, greenest, whatever, green thumb haver, I would like to ask you, because I go to whatever state I show up in, for instance, like Arizona. God, I love that Phoenix.
Okay, I love that place.
Okay, so I went to a MedMen there, and it seemed like they had a lot higher, like you could buy more there than anything. So I don't think I was seeking out certain strands as I was like, hey, what sativa edibles do you? I think everywhere I go, it's just like, what is the most available and how quickly can I get it on this trip in and out? Because I have to finish it by the time I'll hop on a plane and fly back to Indiana. Obviously,
right.
Don't want to be breaking any laws there. What are some strands you think that are that should go? Good sativas.
Good sativas, you know. Hey, how about the fucking Arnie Palmy? How about the Palmy? How about cherry pie?
Oh,
jeez.
Oh.
A little Skittles with a Z? Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Big Z. Hey, shout out to Boston Connor. I love that guy.
Hey, shout out. Dude. Humboldt County. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Connor.
Yeah, getting a shout out from California.
From the coastal county, too.
Yeah,
Wow.
from the Chaw Dog Kelly Coastal Cowboy.
You nailed it. Why did you guys spit in that guy's face? He said hello to you.
That's what he said. I wanted to reiterate his name.
I'm talking about the tone, though, the way you went about like questioning his
he
action.
named himself that?
No. It's somebody else gave him that nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, but he referred to himself in his nickname.
No, they call me.
Yeah.
I think it was a call me situation.
No, it was a good little run he went on. And, I mean, he knows I am part of the Farmers Association of America, so.
That's right. That's right.
We see eye to eye in that sense.
You're a lifetime member of the FFA.
Hey! Hell yeah.
That's what I make. I can't wait to, experience that dope world a little bit more, marijuana world, whenever I can. Whenever that becomes...
You're flying to California soon, aren't you?
Yeah. I would like to go see a greenhouse or 10 and just be like, hey, how do I get involved? How do we... Yeah. I see Willie's Reserve. These pre-rolls are unbelievable. The way it is happening, the way the stores are, some stores are much shittier than other stores. Yes. Now that in a lot of states now, I've seen a lot of different... I feel like that MedMen places, they are locked in. There's this other one like Air something. Oh, it was in Ontario, California, I think. I forget which one. It was like it felt like a boutique. It was awesome. Yeah. It was, and then there's a couple like shitty ones. You walk in, it's like, oh, I'm walking into the waiting room of the doctor's office, and they are like it is. There's the way that is going to evolve. I think over the next few years, like the cherry pie you heard and the Arnie Palmer, like Method Man and How High was something that I was like, oh man, that's probably actually happening out there. Now that like the government's putting money into scientists, the way they're growing seeds and cross-pollinating.
Big businessmen and companies have gotten in on it, so it's crazy. Have you been to New York City? My brother was there. He said they have like trucks set up, like almost food trucks selling weed.
Yeah, it's always. I didn't know
it was that like on the street, not like. Yeah, he said if they're parked out there, you walk right by them.
Yeah, and by the way, I've seen those same trucks for the last couple of years in New York. I did not know that I could just buy dope in there. I think
it's only been recreational for a little bit there, though.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. I can't wait.
How much money are they bringing in? They legalize gambling and weed.
Well, and it's not just about money, obviously. It's about people's lives and happiness, especially after
I'm
everything.
Talking about the city.
No, I know. But let's just add on to that. Not only is it money, a massive amount of money coming into the state, I couldn't even... Like Colorado, they made some ridiculous amount in the first month. People were just traveling to Denver when it became one of the first places in Washington and everything like that. But also, how about some happiness?
That's right.
What about just some happiness from people? Now, it makes a lot of people medically better and things. But out of what we're coming out of, everybody seems to be fucking miserable. The world is literally fighting against each other. We should not be holding back potential happiness for people. And I just feel like, especially with everything else that is available out there, is now not the time? If not now, then when?
If not now, then when?
Very legitimate
profound.
business too. Like you're saying, those like high end places that have the grows, sometimes even connected to the shop that you can go and purchase your marijuana. It's next level. There's one in Mass. It was an old bank, and they're like everything's in a safe in the room. It's
So,
very cool.
I can't wait to check out a couple grow shows. In the off season when I have some time to go travel around and see some of these. I'm going to get into that business somehow, though. I want to let people know I will be in that business at some point. I think I'm going to be out there with my green thumb. I'm going to have my house, my greenery.
What?
Yep. I'm going to be growing my own homegrown. You know what I mean? But until Indiana passes it, I can't enjoy it until I'm in states that allow it. And California is obviously one of them coming up Thursday. I'm looking forward to that.
Staples Center, right?
Yeah, crypto.com, the crypt, dude.
Is that what they call it?
I don't know. Somebody tweeted me that yesterday. I wish I remembered his name. That was an incredible name. He said it's Staples Center forever, but also if they call it the crypt, also cool. Something like that. Great tweet. The internet is obviously great. I'll go back to get that guy's name to give him actual credit. But yeah, we're heading out there. The New York truck that your brother was referring to, boom, right there. That doesn't look creepy at all.
Nope.
Wow.
I've bought drugs out of many of those vans.
Oh yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah.
That was definitely a flower shop
Exactly.
van before.
You think traveling around flower shop, or maybe it was a groomer, a pet groomer too, that they just turn around.
They wash dogs. Yeah.
Some cities where it's decriminalized, you can also there's other car services that you can just text. And
What was that in
they'll show
Ontario?
up.
They just showed up in a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah. Didn't you have that guy come to the hotel like 7 times in 2 days?
Okay.
Well,
slow your roll, Hawk.
Relax.
It's legal that you have a certain amount you could get, right?
Yeah, I mean, DoorDash has changed the game for food, right? I get PF Chang's delivered to the front door. Shout out to my wife making that happen. Love everything that she does there. It's changed. When I was in a place where they just delivered me a pre-roll right to the door, what are we doing? Yeah. I mean, this is the future. I felt like I was living in the year 3000. I was so happy. I was like, this is amazing. I don't have to stuff it. I don't have to do anything. It's just showing up. I don't have to find out. I don't have to sort it out. This is awesome. Then I hop in a plane. If I have anything on me, hey, he'll put your ass in fucking jail. It's like, oh, it was just delivered to my fucking room in a Tesla.
They don't care.
They don't care. Rules is rules. Move to where it is. I agree. I'm 100% on board with that. There's a reason different states have different rules. We are the United States. You do your thing. But it'd be nice if the feds got involved and said, everybody deserves to have this. All you booze hounds out at bars, I'd be just sitting there all doped up.
Yeah.
I've had have you ever had the drink? There's a drink with THC in it. It's like a carbonated drink. Oh.
You good?
I mean, I haven't had it since the last time I was in California. I'll have to do that again or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great. I pop it up. Can't even do a cheers.
Yep.
Oh,
What?
It's awesome. It's amazing. It's like, oh, this is what like 5 years from now is going to be.
Next level.
But everybody's been saying this is what 5 years from now is going to be for the last 100 years about marijuana.
That's right.
But kids that grew up, like anyone that's grown up out in California or whatever, and that's like just the culture they've been in. It's not even a thing. It's not a big deal at all. It's just they're like, what are you talking? Like they're freaked out if you hear it's not as accessible as them. Like I've heard guys I played with, they're like, oh, I used to get weed delivered to my dorm room from the speed weed guy.
That's
like,
unbelievable.
okay.
What a different life. You know what I did? I opened the door to hypothermia and had to smoke in back parking lots underneath the lights underneath them. And I had to go to shady-ass vans like that to find stuff. What a life.
What a life.
We made it, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's the show. Oh, the poll results. Here we go. Yeah, we do have to get this. The question was asked, should Evan Foxy be allowed to gamble alongside A.J. Hawk's first Super Boost this Thursday on the Pittsburgh Steelers moneyline bet that we are attempting to boost? No, 56.6%. 11,000 votes were casted in 1 hour. That is a large sample size. That is a lot of people, AJ. And I know you get to decide in the end whether or not Foxy is allowed to ride the Super Boost horse that you will be saddling alongside of you. But this is an alarming stat here. 56.6 is a lot of people saying, I ain't doing it out of 11,210.
So real quick question. If I vote on this, I voted on it first. I wanted to retweet it. Would I retweet the poll? It was only showing that I would retweet the results like this.
So your tweet looks different than everybody else's.
I didn't retweet it, by the way.
So when you retweet it, it's the actual poll It's not your results. If you screenshot it like we just did there, actually, we're just showing our Twitter account there. It'll show yours. If you were to retweet it, it would be the open poll, but you might as well not do it anymore because all you're going to see now is 56.6% to 43.4% as a retweet with no vote if you didn't vote.
Yeah, maybe I'll still throw it out there. What, Foxy?
Come on, AJ.
What did you vote? What did you vote?
Come on.
I voted no, of course.
Okay. All right, so a lot of people were voting yes who hate the Steelers. Like, this kind of got in. You remember when there was a guy that was on the Ravens who was on
Ray Lewis.
He was on the Ravens. Hey, shout out Ray Lewis.
Shout out Ray.
There was a guy who was on the Ravens who, if he would have made the Pro Bowl for the Ravens, the Minnesota Vikings would have been fucked out of something.
Yannick Ngakoue.
And do you remember the entire NFC North started voting for this guy as a Raven to go into the Pro Bowl because it would fuck the Minnesota Vikings
They would have
somehow.
lost a draft pick, yeah.
Boom. So the NFC North started getting involved. I think what a lot of people started to do here was I think a lot of anti-Steelers people started getting in on this vote. Vikings people started getting in. I mean, a lot of people started getting in on this vote for conflicting reasons as opposed to just how they feel personally. So I think you should account for that whenever you're deciding whether or not to ride with the poll results or not, AJ, because we don't know if any of these poll results are actual people's feelings, what they think they should say, or the narrative they're trying to push in the vote. So it's all clusterfuck, AJ. The more we learn, the less we know.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as the poll and everything, yeah, that's great. That's one little piece, one little tool I'm going to put in my toolbox. As I had a coach say to me back in the day, just use some tools in your tool belt, as they like to do it. But I have to ride with, I don't know what the people think. I don't know what the Steelers think. All I know is there's a couple diehard Steelers fans in that room, Nick Moraldo and Tone Diggs. Both those guys, I would assume, want me to burn Foxy at the stake and not let him in on this game. So I'm going to have to ride with those guys. Foxy cannot come to this. Foxy.
Yeah!
Come on,
All the
AJ.
great coaches are emotionless, and they take all their emotions out of any decision. That's what I'm doing here.
Well, we appreciate you being an adult and kind of looking at all the different situations and weighing in a very stern but fair manner. I mean, Nick Moraldo is giving the suck it chop to Evan Fox behind the scene. Tone Diggs has smiled for the first time in a long time today. A lot of people are watching along right now saying, thank you, AJ Hawk, for doing the right thing. I, even as somebody who has been forced to bet alongside Foxy because I am a supporter of Foxy and like to lift Foxy's confidence and say, hey, you're not alone in this game, pal. You're not alone in this race. I've lost a lot of money. I'm actually relieved that you are not allowing him to be part of the Super Boost. So I think this is a good decision that you made with a very cool head. Foxy, your thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, I mean, that was the least toxic way for AJ to make this decision, which is not like AJ, which worries me about the boost and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's fucking go, Vikings! You're gonna win this!
No!
There we go. Now I feel even better about my pick.
All right, let's get out of here. Foxy's Lions just...
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you,
Thank
AJ.
you.
Foxy's Lions just ruined the Vikings for like the fourth time this season. Heartbreaking loss for their team and their fan base. Now Foxy's like, let's go Vikings in a condescending fashion to try to take down your Super Boost because you banned him. There's a lot of fuckery going on. I don't necessarily love it, but we'll be back tomorrow with a much better show. Ain't that right, AJ?
That's right. And I think Foxy's worried. He knows if this one hits, then he may be out in the cold for a while.
Especially with this particular horse, with AJ saddling this thing, it's could
not
go.
on this program. You're out.
Yeah.
Damn right.
On this program, that Super Boost runs a long race too, pal. This is a long, long race. That stinks for you, dude. Foxy, this is your own fucking fault.
I can't believe this is what AJ did.
This is your own fault.
I cannot believe this is what AJ did.
Think about what happens when
I took my time. I took my time to think about it. I didn't make a rash decision.
a lot of twos in the tube belt. I mean, you had a lot of those. You know what I mean? You pulled them all out. You pulled them all out.
I'm not going to
too.
give you a name on that guy, but yeah.
Well, I assume I think I already.
No, it's definitely no one you know.
Okay, then all right, never mind. That person pronounces tools interestingly, but I think you made a very fair decision there because the Super Boost has been so hit or miss. Literally 500. You've decided that once you take the reins, especially with Ohio potentially passing, there's a chance Ohio is legalized with this. And I don't know how the lobbying is going to go behind the scenes. It's probably already started and everything like that. What if FanDuel comes live in Ohio while this heater is still running?
Dude, unbelievable. Storybook.
That could happen. And guess who will never get it? The people of Ohio who have zero possibility of gambling right now on this game have a chance to be a part of this heater more than you do, Evan Fox. Because if this thing starts hot tomorrow, tomorrow, you're never going to be allowed to bet on this.
I hate this. I love the Super Boost. I tweet it every single week. I look forward to it because it's the only time where I can just be like, hey, guys, we're all going to win as a team. This is going to be really fun because every time I pick your teams, you all yell at me. This time I'm like, yes, Super Boost.
You're a part of the team.
You're
You're a part of the team.
Page.
Yeah, well, you have to be no longer a part of the team.
Sorry, Foxy.
You do a great job, though. We appreciate you. But what's good for the gander is good for the goose. Okay? And what's good for the gander is for the goose to get out of the flying V, pal.
Actually,
and that's what you are.
Chop the goose's head off this time, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if that's
a gander. I can't believe it came at the expense.
It's a flock of goose.
Come on.
Is it?
Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I say it backwards. What's good for the gander is good for the goose because it's the same fucking thing. If you win, there's enough to go around for everybody. But, yeah, you got to get the hell
for Foxy.
Maybe next season.
All right. Steelers better win. That's all I'm going to say.
Stop saying stuff.
They better win. Go Steelers.
No, go Vikings.
All right, maybe he's banned from microphone
Well,
use.
hey, I think let him say whatever he wants, man. Foxy, just let it all out, man. You do whatever you need.
That's that Ohio mentality.
Respect. It has no effect on us.
Against all odds. It doesn't matter what you're doing, Foxy, what you're trying to do. You won't be able to benefit from this anyway, so you're trying to tear it down. We know that. We've spotted the enemy within the camp.
Boom. Right.
The enemy is always within. AJ has found it from afar. He said, boom, it's that guy. He's always tweeting it. He's always doing this. There's no wonder it's only 500 over the last 6 weeks, and we're trying to get this thing going.
I will be rooting against this one. 1,000% rooting against your Super Boost, AJ. This is your fault.
Thank you.
And one more thing for you, AJ. OH.
I'll give it back to Foxy.
Wow! Your Super Boost is fucked! You guys are screwed! Steelers lose, and it's on AJ Hawk. It's not on me. Let's go.
He's writing handwritten letters to people. He's giving IOs to Foxy after banning him from
What
the
is
guy.
going on?
This guy
I
stinks,
told
dude.
you.
Okay, good luck Thursday, man. I hope you win.
I know you can't hear me, but nothing personal with Foxy. It's not about. I love Foxy. He's the man, but he's not allowed in this bet.
Thank you for being an adult.
Cool.
Thank you, AJ.
All right. Thank you to Aaron Rodgers for his time.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you to Dr. Bob for saying, hey, let that thing rest for a few days. Let's see how it goes. Don't make any brash decisions here day after game. Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Thank you, Doc Bob.
Thank you, Dr. Joe Rogan, for saving Dana White. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joe.
This show's so bad. Jordan in Baltimore.
Thank you, Jordan.
Why be less when you can be more on the 5-Hour Energy phone line? Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order of 5-Hour Energies. They have 15 original flavors. They are all delicious.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, Jordan?
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Keep it moving.
Very nice. So I wanted to talk about a story I have about you, Pat, and I also had a question afterwards, but we'll leave with the story. So your rookie year, y'all were playing in Baltimore, and if I remember correctly, I think Matt Stover was the kicker then. So my family actually sat right behind the visiting team bench, right where the kickers formed up. And, of course, we couldn't give shit to Matt Stover because Baltimore legend, obviously. But you were right there, nice little rookie, so we talked some trash. And after the first quarter, Pat, what'd you do? You took the kicking net, moved it to the other side of the bench.
You idiot.
What was that all about?
You're an idiot, dude. Jordan, that switched probably back in the second half, too. I mean, Jordan, you are...
Because of you, Jordan. That's why you switched.
Jordan.
Man.
It's for the wind. Back in the day, now they just have two nets, one on each side, so you can punt the same direction you're going to be punting in the game. In that quarter, you switch directions. We used to only have one net, and it was not that good of a net either. And every week, that thing was dragged to the other side. I missed that net one time and actually almost put a ball onto the field 45, 50 yards down the field. I mean, it is a whole thing. Jordan, I do appreciate the fact that you probably told the story since my rookie year that we moved because of you. I do have an immense amount of respect for Baltimore shit talkers, but come the fuck on, dude.
Typical Baltimore scumbag, moron. Get it right, dude.
I do love that city, though. Everything he was saying probably set the tone for me to be like, I love this place.
Not very smart sports fans there.
Well, they are, yeah.
Baltimore. Respect the rivalry.
They're a part of the game, dude. Their fans do their thing. Now, I had no idea what I was doing punting the ball, so I probably didn't talk much shit back, but there was a few years later where there's mouths potentially getting trapped into a fucking buzzsaw that is my mouth. You know what I mean? Coming back. And that is all part of the game. I love it. But that is amazing.
I mean, yeah. I saw where that was going right away. And then you jumped in and called him an idiot. But yeah, it makes when he said and then at the quarter you took the net, I'm like, oh, all right, man. How many he probably told that to 6,000 different people.
At least.
And at least somebody would say, Did he bring it back in the second? Probably back in the second half, too.
I don't know.
Well, maybe late.
Yeah, he did, but then he gave it to him in the third, and he moved it again.
Now there's like super high-tech nets that have like a bend on it. That game has really evolved. That was a real problem for me, because I didn't know how to punt, first of all. I didn't know where it was going, second of all. And then that net for punting, you only had a certain part you could hit because they didn't have the ones that kind of bent over. There's a new one that kind of bends over so you can punt it up. It was just like a straight, like lean like this. Whoa. I was rolling the dice every time I was warming up. I knew it too. It was always in the back of my mind, like, it's going to end up on the field. This ball's going to end up down the sideline. Ooh, I hit the net. And then I'd get my foot caught in the net every once in a while because the net was so long. I'd get, oh my God. Third down, we're about to punt.
It's a liability.
Yeah, tear your
Hey, would you punt a lot? Like, would you punt throughout the whole game?
Earlier in my career, yeah.
Some guys I'm like, geez, man, aren't you going to tire yourself out?
I had to punt every series a little bit, unless it was freezing cold. If it was freezing cold, my time was better served with the big parka backwards, sitting on the heated thing with a helmet on and the parka in there. So I just was in like my own little microwave, basically.
You tuck your little feet in there to the little spots too?
What's that?
You tuck your little feet into the spots underneath the bench.
Yeah, the air coming from the bottom. That thing was amazing.
Awesome.
So I'd be in there completely. And then if it was third down, I'm watching. Fourth down, I'm coming fresh off of that thing. Body's warm, right onto the field. Haven't picked up a ball probably in a quarter and a half. So, but it was either that or go stand in front of that fake jet engine they have, which heats up your hands for like 10 seconds, and then they get too hot and your body's freezing cold. I mean, it was just, how do you stay loose when you're sitting around for 45 minutes and then you have to be incredibly explosive out of nowhere? And so if it was a warm, I would kick every series, 1 or 2 balls, catch a snap or 2, and then if we had to go punt. But there are guys I see that do hundreds and hundreds of reps. It's like, holy shit.
Snappers, too. I see, like, long snappers just snap the whole game.
Yeah, I'm happy. We were at the beginning of Overton's NFL run, so he hadn't acquired any habits. We're like, I got to snap at this point. I got to snap at this point. I got to snap.
So you could give him you could create his habits for him?
Yeah. So like me and Vinatieri, we're like, we don't need to snap right now. And he didn't. And Overton was like super cool. Like he wasn't, because there's some guys that get in their head like, I need to snap 4 before I get out there or whatever. Overton was never like that. And I don't know if he was never like that, but also like he was super cool. So we would just get 1 or 2 real quick, and then we go out there because you get kind of bored too. I mean, there's a lot of times there's a lot of this going on when you're a punter, kicker and long snapper for a game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, all right, here we go.
Something to do.
You're almost like a DH in baseball.
Yeah, kind of. I guess like a closer, because they can throw in the bullpen too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. DHs go underneath and hit in the cage, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. But you have no idea what the ball's doing into that net. There'd be like some days where I'd hit a bad ball and then I'd go in the net. And I'm like, I think that's a good ball. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to turn out. So that's why halftimes are so important. So important, because the wind might have changed. You have no idea. I'd like to hit some balls at halftime all the time, always.
In DH, you kind of know when you're going to be up. Like, I assume when your rookie year and it was Peyton, it was like, I probably won't even be punting today. And then all of a sudden you...
That was so interesting because Hunter Smith had like 2-3 games allegedly where he didn't punt at all. He was the punter before me. And, you just assume an offense led by Payton, you're not going to be punting much. I think we did. We punted a good bit, but then I started doing the kickoff duties. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, so I'm going to be doing – I felt good, though, because I used to kick, punt, and kick off. So it was like I felt like I was a part of the game. Like every drive, basically, I was going to be doing something. And then when I wasn't kicking field goals anymore, I was just punting. I was like, all right, I can't control anything if we're doing that. This is that. So then I picked up kicking off early in the season. I think it was like game 2 or game 3 that like at least added a little bit. But there were some times there in preseason, training camp, and like the first week or first 2 weeks where I was like, man, I ain't doing shit. Yeah. What are we even doing here? So it's a difficult mental game. It is a mental game, to be honest with you.
It seems super difficult to be able to do that.
Yeah, AJ sat on the bench against the Eagles one time and he damn near requested a trade. Yeah, get me the hell out of here.
It's no fun, dude. Like, I could see how you did request a trade whenever, you ran a 4.4, jumped 40 inches, and they said you weren't athletic enough to fucking play in the game or whatever. But that was a big thing. Going from soccer to football full time, where I'm just like at practice, like, what am I doing for the next?
Did you instantly like gain a bunch of weight because you weren't running all the time like that?
I'll tell you what. Plus Morgantown, and it was the first time lifting weights. I mean, I was like 230.
You didn't lift in high school at all?
No.
I would assume the Plum High School football team did, though.
Yeah, they were getting after it. Ton Diggs was getting after it. I never went to practice or anything. I mean, I would just show up on Fridays.
Yeah, you're playing 2 sports.
With the fans. I'd walk in with the fans sometimes. Like, pads on, fans walking in, me too. Like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Like, that's how it was. So when I get baptized into the football world, that summer before my freshman year, you weren't able to do that, right? My class, I think, was the first one that was able to do that.
What, go in? Like, when did you go?
Yeah, did you play in the Big 33?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to West Virginia the summer semester before fall. We were the first class that was able to do it, I think, if I do.
No, I went in the summer.
Did
I
you
went
really?
in June. Like, I graduated high school, and I went to the next week. I started going to Ohio State and working out with Bobby and the rest of the team. Now, there was only a couple guys that did that, but we were allowed to do it.
Oh, see, that's Ohio State. It was like a big deal that we were the first class. We were all there. So we got like baptized into summer workouts. You know what I mean? And I'd never worked out before.
Yeah.
And summer workouts are no fucking joke. I mean, we were running forever, which I was pretty good. My freshman year going in, I was pretty good running because soccer or whatever, I was crushing everything. But I couldn't move my fucking arms. I was literally just like walking around as a dead man. But the football culture is crazy. I mean, it is much different than the soccer culture. Much different.
Yeah. I was the last class, I believe, in college that had freshman camp. So we came in like 7 days before the rest of the team, and we only had like 21 guys, and we just killed each other for like 5 days before everybody else came in, and then we got blasted by them.
Nice.
Going back to college football, those open tryouts, did Ohio State ever have those?
Open tryout?
Vince
No, not that I saw.
So West Virginia had an open tryout. I forget when it was. I
For
forget.
kicking or for like everything?
Everything.
Were they like hitting?
I think it was like hey, let's bring the campus, university, and the team together. I think it was like a PR thing or whatever. These poor kids. I mean, they ran 4 of our cars. They just basically come in like, hey, you want to be a part of the team? Yeah, you think you're good enough to be a part of the team? Awesome. Can you catch? Cool. Let's see if you can get through one of our workouts. And then they would put them through and it would just be like tap out city. Like, nope, I ain't playing. I don't want to do this. Get me back to the frat. Get me back out of here. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody out of there. But that's what those workouts were. They were scared. I was scared to death of those workouts. Still
Always.
am.
My whole life. My whole life, that's how it was. Night before every high school workout, every college run, anything. Yeah, you're just like, oh, man. Yeah.
And I just assumed that's how it was everywhere. And then I learned Barwis was a different animal, though. He had a TV show about it, actually. He's the guy.
Yeah.
But I did gain a bunch of weight, yeah, and I was having a good time. Really good time. I should have focused more, but I don't know how I was supposed to do that.
You're all right. It worked out.
It did work out. It could have worked out much, much better, though, if I focused on it a little
Could have worked out much, much worse, too.
Valid. I mean, I was going out a lot. I mean, it was. It was Morgantown. It was absolutely.
You were punting and kicking too, though.
What's that, buddy?
So if you heard me. So if you're doing that during the week, you know you're not going to be taxing yourself as much as, say, a receiver is on a Wednesday or Thursday practice.
Bingo. That was kind of my thing. Like, I used to run like 8 miles a day in soccer practice. I used to have to blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just kicking for, 50 balls, punting 40 balls?
I can go drink 60 beers tonight.
I could have 4 pitchers tonight for 4 cents, dude, right? Yeah, absolutely I can. That was a bad decision. Go back, change those. That'd be cool. But you live and you learn. That's why I can't wait for the dope. All right, tying this whole thing back
around
together.
the corner.
Thank you, AJ. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Tomorrow, Chuck. I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Hey, he's been in Vegas, I think, still.
Yeah. He's still there?
No, man, he might not be on tomorrow. Holy shit. He's in a race. He's in a bicycle race.
Oh, on the Peloton or on a bike?
Does he do like
Peloton Grand
Ironman?
I don't know.
I think he's in a race. Like, he got into that Peloton. He got, like, addicted.
Yeah.
And he got into, let me see.
How's that happen to everyone?
How's that what?
People
Happened
love
to
the
everyone.
Peloton.
It's good.
It's died down a little bit.
AJ hates Peloton.
No. It's
I
good.
can't do the bike either.
I think Chuck's in the middle of a race right now, like a bike race.
Oh, like a 3-day thing?
I think. I was supposed to
Is
talk
he doing
to
the Iditarod?
Is that that's the
dog sled?
That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
He's in a race, I think.
Wow. Dag nabbit.
Weapon.
Congrats,
Tag
Chuck.
yeah.
Good luck, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck. Let's go. Bring home the gold.
We got to get somebody on the show tomorrow. We didn't have anybody today. I sent some texts out. No answers. Oh. Cold shoulders. That's tough.
Who'd you send it to?
Well, there's a bunch of people that are in the middle of like conventions, I guess. I guess there's reasons for it.
December. We were just saying it's awards convention season.
It is. It is like a hey, gather around. We do business similarly. Let's talk about it time.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no one doing actual work in December.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving and New Year's, right? Let's mail it in here.
Yes.
See, we do our siestas differently here in America. Our siestas are just the entire month of December.
Yeah. Just give me to Christmas.
What's that about?
I don't know what that's all about.
Working people around here.
What's that all about? We put a goddamn hard hat on and get back out there?
Fucking steel toes on and grab our lunch pail anymore?
Listen,
Hey, by the way, I don't think any of those people stop working, by the way.
I don't want to hear from little Santa back there. He's getting presents every day. He's getting showered in gifts.
The amount of shit showing up at this office, too, old Gumpy, is alarming. It's almost like a warehouse now at this point for the guy. But
wait, from randoms or who?
No, my mom loves Christmas.
I thought it
was.
was
That's from your mom? I didn't know it was from
No, it's like the thing. My mom loves Christmas.
So his mom seems to have like Hanukkah and Christmas together.
Yes.
So he gets like a big Christmas gift every day since Hanukkah started all the way through Jesus.
I'm actually just going to get a Christmas tree and set it up in the office and have Christmas here, I think. Then I don't have to take everything home.
Yeah, why didn't you ship it to your house?
We'd love that. It's his apartment, maybe. I don't know why, because there's always somebody here. I think that is potentially why.
The apartment building delivery is worrisome.
Porch Pirates.
Tend to get stolen.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is the same
Set him
place
up.
that had
Set him up, Gump.
Set what?
Set him up. Put
Set
a
'em
fake
up.
package out there with something in there to scare him and put a camera.
Bomb. Poop in there.
Yeah. Put a bunch of poop. Light on fire.
It's poop again.
Put a flash grenade in it.
I explain that to my kids why that's a thing if you light turds on fire.
Send a message.
A claymore?
Yeah, send a message.
You're going to have Drew McIntyre in a box?
Yeah, and open it up and say, I'm actually quite calculated. Kick him right in the face, yeah.
He goes, 3, 2, 1. Kick in the mouth.
Well, that's what he said on this show after him and Brock Lesnar. Not 2, but 3 claimer kicks.
He's awesome. What's he doing?
He's the man. I don't know.
Crushing.
He's always getting screwed on Friday Night SmackDown.
I mean, he jumped in the ring a few weeks ago with Angela, and he almost took a couple heads off.
I understand that sword is put together very well. When he was grabbing the end of that thing and just swinging it, I was thinking to myself, what happens if the tip comes off of the base?
Or even just slit a throat. Like, he might not completely cut someone's head off.
I'm not worried about Drew and his... I think he can wield a sword very well.
No, yeah.
But I'm talking about the sword itself. Is that thing ready for a guy like Drew McIntyre to fucking wail it around like that he does? I mean, he was doing one of these moves with a 2 Hezbollah-sized sword.
Yeah. Well, to touch on what Aaron said, I mean, that thing was forged in the depths of Mordor, I think, at Hobbitown in New Zealand. So I don't think that thing's going to break at all.
Yeah, but he might get pissed off because he's kind of, been getting the cold shoulder and accidentally, cut Kevin Steen's head off or something, like Sami Zayn's head off. Then what happens?
It's going to be Adam Pearce, I think.
Pearce, yeah.
He's been
I thought Kevin Owens is Ty's guy.
Well, that's Kevin Steen. That was a throwback. Ty was actually showcasing how big of a fan he was with a kayfabe name.
Yep.
Oh, like Titty Boy to 2 Chainz.
Yes.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Gotcha.
I'm different. Yeah,
I'm different.
You ever hang out with Titty Boy?
Mom, I got my name I'm going to go by. What do you think of it?
What
Titty
is it?
Boy.
That's my favorite thing is thinking of that.
So my favorite thing used to be whenever I hear a rap song, I would think of in the booth live when these words are coming out and then they're done and then they're playing them back. Yeah, keep that. Let's go ahead and fucking move on to the next one. There are some great lines that I think the crowd had to have lost it whenever they were announced, but they were said in a very serious tone. I like to think back to those. Pussy, money, weed, pussy, money, weed, pussy, money, weed. Run that back. Nailed it. Let's go to the next line. There it is. There's some Lil Wayne lines where I wonder if as they came out of his mouth, people are like, how the fuck did your brain just think of that right there? Those moments are great. Those moments are great to think about.
And then it's the best part is they become a hit song that people remember forever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quoting it 20 years later at this point. That's art.
Mm-hmm.
Just like today. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's over. I guess Art Basil's going on down in Miami.
Oh,
What?
nice.
Super Basil.
What's that?
Twins, Basil.
It's like Fashion Week, but for art down in Miami.
Yeah, Darius Butler sent me a video of all these yachts sliding down there. I guess it's just super big money. But isn't art? I'm not saying it.
I don't know. What?
I don't know how some art is worth $700,000 and some art is worth 7 pennies.
You talking Hunter Biden?
Jesus.
All right, dude. All right. The dude sold a paint.
I hope you got all your
500K.
checks in, dude. Hope you got all your words in. I hope you got it.
What is that? What's controversial about
that? What's that?
Well, there's nothing controversial. He sold a painting for like $500K. I'm like, man, I'm going to set an easel up and start painting.
All right, I hope your artistic ability is just as good as his. I think that is why the prices are so high for some paintings and some seem to be not. It's interesting.
It is wild.
Very interesting.
Eye of the beholder.
I'm not in the art world yet. Maybe one day we'll get in there.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe Ty will draw something.
Maybe.
We'll go down to Art Basel.
Yeah.
We'll say
Hang out with Joe Pompliano.
Joe Pompliano's down there?
Well, I think he lives in Miami, doesn't he? Pompliano?
He does?
Pretty sure he does.
Joe and Anthony Pompliano down there in Art Basel?
I think so.
What? Wow.
Keynote speaker.
He just got engaged, by the way. Congrats, Joe.
Congrats, Joe.
Congrats,
Mr. and Mrs. Pompliano.
All right, that's a show. This is dragged on long enough. See you tomorrow, AJ. See you, everybody. Bye.